So I have a new favorite player that's not named Jalen Brunson.
Really? I thought it was
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards.
Wait, can we guess it?
Can we guess
What?
it? Can we have a little guess the player?
Anthony Edwards is there, but this
Wait, don't tell us anything.
Don't tell us.
No.
Is he in the Western Conference? Is he currently playing?
He's a rookie.
He's a rookie, like 2024 draft class.
Yes, this rookie.
Tyler Kolek.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I like him, but this player is because it's something a part of his name.
Is he white?
No.
Okay.
But I always say.
Oh, I know who it is.
I always say what's up blank to somebody. I say what's up.
Oh, Bub Carrington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say what's up, bub, to everybody.
I thought it was going to be like.
It's just like buddy and bub. Like I say what's up, bub.
I thought it was going to be Jacoby. That's who I thought it was going to be.
Kobe Walter.
Yeah.
Why?
Because his parents named him after Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
That would be your favorite player.
No, yeah, but Bub.
Yeah.
I liked him before he was drafted, but now Bub Carrington.
it's perfect.
I want him.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I always say what's up, Bub, but I'm not calling you Bub Carrington.
Bub Carrington. He's on the
You
Wizards
say,
now.
oh, you've been saying Bub this whole time?
Yeah, it's Bub.
I thought you've been saying Bud.
He always texts.
It goes back and
Bud.
forth.
He texts Bud.
I text Bud, but
was-
I go Bud, but saying Bub on text is so much weirder. That's why I say Bud.
Yeah.
But when you're in person, I say Bub.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
It sounds the same.
All my
to be
friends
honest.
that I go, they always recognize. I always say, "What's up, Bub?"
Bub.
So now Bub Carrington. Now it makes sense when I say him. What's up, Bub?
Okay, don't call me that anymore.
Come on, it's
You'd probably
kidding.
like Cam Johnson's brother. His name is Puff. Puff Johnson.
Who does he play
That
for?
is.
I think he went on. He went to Penn State. I think he's still on. He went undrafted. I don't know where he is now.
Yeah,
But-
but no, so I think in order it would probably go Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, because he has my name, and then Bub Carrington.
So you wouldn't put the better player.
No,
number
Carmelo
one.
has got to. Okay, Carmelo is all
He's retired,
time.
He's not in the
bro.
league.
Retired,
all
retired.
time.
League.
All time. It's Melo, Jalen Brunson. No, let's go to someone else.
Let's all do our
before
top three
Melo.
favorite players ever.
All
No,
time.
All time.
Jalen Brunson
Love it.
can't be
Let's
do three
second
or
for
five.
all time.
Let's do three.
Top three. So
Top three.
What's your top three? Melo's one.
Melo
clearly.
has to be one.
Yeah.
Okay.
All time.
Come on. It's you got,
Anthony Edwards?
really.
No.
He might be a fake Knicks fan. I'm not gonna lie.
No. Melo? Jalen Brunson can't be second.
He can if you want him to.
No.
It's up to you.
Randall can't be there.
Why?
No, you want to go?
yeah.
I'll
No,
go
you wanna
two
go
and three
third?
after.
You can go.
Okay, I'll go first.
Russell Westbrook.
Oh, yeah.
Russell Westbrook.
You know what? That's a pretty good list.
It's a really good list.
That was
yeah.
that was your list.
But OKC Russ, then Wizards Russ, then Nuggets. No,
No.
Nuggets Russ, then Wizards Russ.
Lakers Russ.
Lakers Russ.
No, I would
that
say
counts.
championship Russ this year.
Okay.
So Nuggets Russ
Yeah.
Yes.
is first.
All right. So who's 2 and 3?
Over
Two-
over
All right,
OKC
so
Russ?
Russ number one. Nah, OKC Russ is superior. But anyways,
Yeah.
Russ number one.
Okay.
Number two, Allen Iverson.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Number three is tough.
3 is tough.
Three is very tough. But I always have liked Tim Duncan.
Ooh, big
You
fundamental.
can't
I've always liked Tim
can't
Duncan.
hate him.
How do you like Tim Duncan, but you've been a Jokic hater this whole time?
I'm not a Jokic
But
hater.
Tim-
I
I know.
love
But-
Jokic.
But you know what's funny? When I think big man, traditionally, I think Tim Duncan. I don't think
Right.
Jokic.
I think of Shaq when I think of typical big.
Yeah, me too.
Because he's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But no, that's a respectable list.
Right?
It's a
Tim,
respectable list.
what's your
Quiet but killer.
For me, it's Jokic number 1,
Okay.
Vince Carter number 2,
Okay.
number 3. It could either be LeBron James or Kawhi Leonard.
I don't think
Kawhi
I don't think
Leonard.
I'm
Kawhi
a
deserves
huge
that.
Kawhi guy.
Really?
I don't
love
think, I
Kawhi.
don't think Kawhi deserves.
I'm
this.
gonna edge Bron. I'm gonna give the edge to Bron. That sounds weird.
Okay.
I'm gonna give the edge to Bron, just because it's Bron.
Brown.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's-
That's your goat right there.
Wait.
Yeah, it's my goat.
I'm gonna say so. Melo's definitely first.
He's my goat unless Jokic wins like 6 rings.
Can I put Steve Novak in my top three?
Oh my
That's
goodness.
crazy.
Go for it.
Can I
Wild
put
behavior.
Steve Novak?
Go for it, bro.
No. Kobe, no.
You can put Kobe in there.
No, I'm trying to think of people I grew up with. Landry Fields.
Okay.
No way, bro.
This guy is wild.
No, those are all Knicks players.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Whoever commented that he should lose his basketball talking card deserves like the lottery.
I liked Melo was definitely. Who do I like
It's
watching
basically
besides Melo?
It's basically for him. It's just Melo. And that's
Yeah.
just it.
No, I think Kyrie's up there.
Kyrie.
I love Kai, man.
Yeah, how can you
He's
not?
number
like-
3?
I think I would put him 3. I
So
think
Who's
2
number 2?
Steve Novak.
Steve Novak.
No way. Come on. Find some.
No,
Bro, that's like me.
No,
Like,
I love watching Kyrie, so he's 3.
yeah, because like, bro, like I love Joe Harris, but he's not like top 3.
No.
Like, it's-
What jerseys have you gotten growing up?
I had Josh Smith. I had Rondo.
that's a based one,
I had
actually.
I had Chris Bosh.
Chris Bosh.
Yeah, I love Bosh.
I had some
Do you like
interest.
Wade?
I think I had Curry's got to be 2.
Oh,
Curry?
Curry has to be
Dev,
2.
you hate Curry. Yes.
I loved watching.
No,
Curry.
I like Curry, but
I like
like
Steph.
Curry has to be 2.
back in like when he was winning MVPs, I was. a little
KD's up
jealous.
there too.
KD, nah.
Yeah, KD has
KD
to.
would have been up there, but
KD would have been up.
betrayed me.
KD's the only player where when he took a shot, every time I said it's going in.
Yeah.
Well, now it's Jokic.
Well,
No.
depends where
Yeah.
he's at.
No.
If
Threes?
he's-
No.
I never had
If
that
he's-
confidence
If he's
in him.
chucking back a 3 with 8.
No,
space
he
all
missed
over
them in the Western Conference Final.
Yeah.
Kyrie and KD are the only players that I said when they take a shot, it's going in.
If Jokic is around the basket, forget it. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yes, that's fine, but not from 3.
Anything within
Yeah.
within 15 feet, it's going in most
Yeah.
of the time.
Absolutely.
But-
I used to love Harden when he was on.
I liked Harden too.
Houston.
I was a Harden guy for 2 months.
No,
That was bad.
Houston Harden,
I didn't like Houston Harden. He was a ball hog.
but he was the fucking best player in the league at one point.
Debatable.
No,
I wouldn't say he was the unequivocal.
season.
I also like
player.
George Gervin.
George Gervin was underrated.
I also like George Gervin. He would be probably 4.
Okay. For me, Kawhi would be 4th, and I think KD would be 5th in the sense that bro chose to put on the black and white, and I'll just be forever grateful for that.
Yeah.
I just still can't. I still will never be able to process
Is that Nets team the biggest what if in NBA history?
No. I
What
say
is-
no.
What is because
The
if-
2028 Knicks will be the biggest what if.
because not gonna lie, wait, if the biggest what if would have been the Warriors if they didn't win anything.
Clearly.
when KD got
It's
there.
either us or the Suns, I think. Because the Suns arguably, I wouldn't say they gave up a lot more to kind of get the team they have. Because
But they haven't had the dysfunction as the Nets
Right,
did.
well, no, they've had a lot of dysfunction.
But not as media.
Well, it's because it's New York.
Given.
But I think with the Suns, given the fact that, that they had a complete roster and decided to chuck it all away. We didn't really have a complete roster when we traded for Harden. So I think if the Suns keep turning out to be this bad and keep getting swept, I think they'll probably be the biggest failure. I think we're the biggest what if.
Okay.
Because I think it's quite clear that if we were healthy, we would have just stampeded the entire league that year.
You want to know what the other biggest what if is?
Well,
If the Knicks got Zion. Had won.
If
if they won that lottery.
You basically have a smaller Zion now.
And Josh Hart.
No,
Randall.
OG Anunoby.
Oh, OG, yeah.
He's-
and also, I think
He's big
if-
and he's injury prone.
I think another what if is that if we got Ja at 2, we never wouldn't gotten Brunson.
wait, who'd you get that year?
RJ Barrett.
At
Yeah,
3?
at 3.
Oh,
So 1 and 2, we would have 2 players we probably would have
True.
kept.
Oh, that's
and we got
so
one
tough.
crappy player at 3.
I know Stephen A. is just so sick from that.
Well, Ja, we're hoping that Ja would have not done what he did right now in the Knicks.
If he was in New York, bro, I don't know. That's a yikes.
And then if Zion was Zion's eating would have been more prevalent
Zion's eating.
if he came to New York.
I'm just saying if you guys got Zion or Ja, they would currently not be on the Knicks right now. I'm so.
I think
confident.
Zion had more of a chance, not Ja.
I don't think so.
What do you
I
mean
think
by that?
They would.
They wouldn't last?
So wait, so you're saying they would have been gone after
They would have
the
been.
contract?
They would have traded them. Yeah.
Really?
Look what happened with Tingus, man.
Well, Tingus wasn't.
Doesn't matter. It's still the same thing. You
Well,
draft
he
a guy
wanted
top
out.
5.
He wanted
exactly.
out.
I don't think the way the Knicks system was, it wasn't really meant for them.
What if the Mavs kept Tingus with Luka and
I mean,
Kyrie?
they traded him and
It didn't really work out.
they
too
traded
well.
him and got to a conference finals and an NBA finals in 2 out of 3 years.
Right.
So,
yeah, but he went to the other team that won
Yeah.
against them.
against essentially, yeah. But look, now he's a champion. So,
Yeah.
but what's going on? Hey, let's try that again. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode number 15 of the Floor Spacer podcast. My voice cracked again. Let's go. Tyler Schwartz, Anthony Cavino, and Giovanni Squateri coming at you from the studio once again. 15th episode. How we feeling, guys?
That's halfway to 30.
Yeah.
We're still in the teens.
Somehow, some way.
We're gonna get to our age in like 10 weeks. We'll be at 25.
Yeah.
You're younger, but
You're Gio. You're 23.
I am.
Yeah.
We're
so
literally
you're-
like a ladder right now.
oh, you're in your Jordan year.
No, he's in his LeBarnold year.
Next year you'll be in your Kobe year.
I'm about to Kobe on these O's.
You're in your Mikal Bridges year now.
Yes. Well,
He's going back
at
to
all
25.
respect, he shouldn't be wearing number 1 because he's not the best on the team. So
Who is wearing number 1 right now?
nobody.
Obi Toppin was wearing number
Obi
1.
Toppin.
He was the best player on the team.
Yeah.
And you guys didn't
no,
play him.
No Knicks player should be wearing number 1 right now. Sorry.
Why?
Why?
It's reserved for the best player of all time, whoever that is.
Why would number 1 be the best player of all the 2 best players of all time were number 23?
Yeah, but I don't.
Actually, come to think about it, now that now that I've
Wait, is LeBron wearing 6 on
he is
Team
now.
USA?
No, he's wearing 6, but he's wearing 23 on the Lakers. Now that
Yeah.
I think about it,
He's back to 23.
because out of respect for Bill Russell.
Oh,
At least in my top 6, the top 6 players to me of all time wore a number 3 on their jersey. Jordan wore 23, LeBron wore 23, Kareem wore 33, Larry Bird wore 33, Magic wore 32, and Shaq wore 34.
huh.
Isn't that crazy?
So
Yo, you're
Kobe,
a genius,
Kobe
bro.
wore 8 and 24. Okay.
Yeah, so Kobe sucks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nah,
we
Kobe's a legend.
we
Kobe's a legend.
passed our first Kobe year when we were 8, but now you're getting to your second Kobe year at
yeah.
24.
You're actually completing your third Kobe year.
Why?
does that mean?
24, 8 times 3.
Yeah, your third. 8 times 3, 24.
You know, that just went right over me.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm in my
Like
McHale.
that.
I'm in my McHale year.
Essentially, actually, it's all 3 of the Kobe eras, right? You had the days with Shaq,
Yeah.
and you had the days with Pau Gasol,
When we
and
get
the
to
washed years.
you know, when we get to our 30s, we're gonna have our Shaq and Magic years.
Oh God!
We're gonna use that as well.
Imagine when you're 99. It's my Jay Crowder year. I'm ready to go.
If we make it to 90,
Jay
Boss man
Crowder
99.
year.
Your
we
Taco
make
Fall
it to
year.
99.
But yeah, obviously this intro's gone on a lot longer than we had thought. But that's typically all our intros nowadays.
Yeah.
So honestly, just deal with it at this point.
We never spoke about if we were basketball players, what our numbers would be on our jersey.
I mean, I think I kind of know.
I think I'd be.
I know yours.
I'd be 4 or 8.
I would be 9.
I'll be 11.
I'd
Why
be
11?
Yeah.
I've always liked it.
That's fair. That was my
Wait,
backup number.
so wait, I chose 4 because April's my birth month and 8's my birthday.
I know why he chose number 11.
Why?
1 minus 1 is 0. Who wears number 0?
You smart.
Yeah.
Really?
I know both.
What if you wore -0?
No.
A hyphen on a jersey is crazy. That's nuts.
-0.
Negative
Does
0.
that even exist?
No.
Yeah. I would wear 9 because obviously I was born on the 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
but
that's fair.
But yeah, that's
You were born on the 9th?
December 9th.
December 9th, yeah. That's like me with.
And what
the-
town do you live in? And what's your address? No.
We
Yeah. Why don't I give you my social security number? while
we
I'm
are
at it?
broadcasting live in the fields of Wyoming in my barn.
If anyone wants to go say hi to Gio, he is live in Nunavut, Canada. Be sure to go.
I'm about to 1v1 one of our viewers.
Yeah.
He said, "Where you from?" I'm like,
He wants the
"Canada."
smoke,
He
bro.
does want this.
Wants the smoke.
I'm about to cook him though.
Exactly. But
Look.
if you guys are new around here, make sure you drop a subscription onto the channel. As of right now, at the time of recording, we are at 1,665 subs. So trying to get to 700. Hopefully we can get it by the time episode 16 comes out next week.
I'm laughing about. We have to refer to the Nasses as the nasty from now on.
The best.
Wait, why did you just say that
was
randomly?
just so random.
because he was talking about the comments from the short, and
Yeah.
that's what came to my mind.
Anyways,
He's talking about like and subscribe. You're like the nasty.
like
We
and,
have
like
to
and
refer
subscribe
to him.
for Thanasty.
We have to
But
refer.
You know what? That's the word for today. Comment down the nasty.
Thanasty.
So wait, then what is Coast called? Canasty?
It's just moving on. Anyways, we're trying to get to 1,700, obviously, eventually 2K at some point. So let's try and get to 1,700 by the time the next episode comes out.
2K, and I am not taking an ice bath.
Okay.
And you're shaving your head, and you're letting your beard grow
And I'm
out.
shaving my head.
Yeah, you're
apparently.
shaving your head, apparently.
No, I'm
yeah,
not
you're going to look like
shaving
an
my-
alien.
And you're letting your beard grow out as
Okay,
well.
that's fair.
But if you guys do enjoy today's video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you're notified every single time we upload. We upload every single day. Make sure you follow us on our socials at Floor Spacer Pod, yada, 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 on all the social platforms below. Follow our personal socials, including Gio's new Twitter. Try and get him to 1 million as quick as possible.
Don't.
Definitely. He was on Twitter the other day. He liked one of my tweets yesterday. I was shocked. I was like, the fuck? Like, what's he doing here? I was like, what's bro doing? But yeah, as for today's show, we got a lot. Skip Bayless is leaving Fox Sports 1. Pat Bev finally made it out the league. We have Russell Westbrook, Gio's idol, the man that he has a gigantic shrine for the size of Alaska,
chill.
has joined the Denver Nuggets.
But not yet.
Yes, the Nets made a trade and potentially could be making more moves with San Antonio, who's got a lot of options on who they can trade for. Something about the NBA Cup that I didn't get to talk about last week because I just totally forgot. We're going to talk about it. We got some NBA expansion talks today.
Love it.
And then we'll obviously touch on Summer League and the Olympics preview and stuff like that. And it's Antoine's turn for shower thoughts. So, yeah, it's going to be a good episode. Lads, anything else before we get into it?
The nasty.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's start.
Let's dive in. All right, into the first story, first segment. Before we do, actually, we did see a rumored report that Warner Brothers is preparing to match Amazon's
they're
bid.
matching it.
They are matching it?
Yeah,
They're
that's
matching.
Bleacher Report just
Yeah,
tweeted about
they're
it.
matching
wow.
Amazon's bid for $1.8 billion to retain the NBA rights. Please, dear Lord, make it happen. We need inside the NBA. But does that mean Charles is going to come out of retirement?
But
Hopefully.
wait, if they're matching Amazon's games, they're getting their 2 weekly games back, right?
Yeah.
2 or 3.
They'll do the Tuesday, Thursday slot.
Yeah.
And they'll get rights to the conference finals again, which would be absolutely outstanding on that fall side.
I don't think Charles is coming out of retirement though.
I hope
I
he
think
does.
he has his
man.
mind made up.
You know what that means? That means somebody at Warner Brothers does not want to lose to Amazon.
Why do you sound like you're being held hostage?
I don't know. No, but someone at Warner, they don't want to lose. They want to win.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah.
Well, because originally they made them match the NBC offer, which was $1 billion more. So now they're matching a cheaper offer, which they were going to pay 2.4 anyways. So it works, but we'll talk about that later on, probably next episode when everything
Yeah,
we get more detail
if it
and
gets
stuff like that.
finalized.
We have a different networking debacle, I guess we can talk about. Skip Bayless, probably the biggest LeBron hater on planet Earth. Obviously, one of the most well-known, sports analysts in modern media, has announced he's leaving Fox Sports 1 at the end of the season, at the end of the summer season, obviously, being around like probably next month, a month or two.
Wow.
Only a year after Shannon Sharpe departed from Undisputed. So I'm not really sure what the future is regarding the show or the channel itself, but I think the channel will be fine. They still got some good shows here and there.
They'll be there.
What do you think he's doing?
I don't know because
Is he just retiring?
we talked about we saw Stephen A. talk about it on his show where he does not want him coming back to ESPN and ESPN has no interest in bringing back Skip Bayless. So I'm not really sure what his move is. Maybe he joins NBC or whatever, but
Or does his own thing.
maybe he just retires. We never
Maybe
know.
he starts his own little podcast or something.
That'd be cool.
But I mean, ever since Shannon left, we knew his ratings were going to drop.
Definitely. Shannon's goat.
know.
So.
It's not even so much of just Shannon. I think it's just the people you tried to replace him with.
They were so bad.
Yeah.
Paul Pierce and Keyshawn Johnson
Yeah.
trying to talk basketball. Like
Nah.
Keyshawn's a football guy.
Keyshawn is just a hater when it comes to like agendas. And Paul Pierce vibes well with Kevin Garnett. I think that's where Paul Pierce is at the top of his game. But like on a show like Undisputed, I don't know if he necessarily fit the bill.
And what were they doing with the whole like Lil Wayne thing?
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of that.
Lil Wayne was one of the rotated guests on the show.
Like that was kind of interesting.
Really?
Yeah. It was cool.
I didn't watch.
Like it's
that
cool to
bad.
see him from time but I don't know. I don't really
just
care about his
not-
sports takes. I'd rather listen to his
yeah.
music than hear his sports takes. I don't-
I'm fine with like the rotating guests because it brings fresh minds in.
That's what makes First Take so good now.
Yeah, because
as
it
far
was
as
it was
that.
just Max and Stephen A. for like years.
Yeah.
Like you have so many you have good basketball minds on at FS1. I know they make brain dead takes every now and then, but like someone like Nick Wright's going to get you clicks, even though he's wrong most of the
Yeah.
time. You got Wilds, you got Joy Taylor, you have Colin
Chris
Cowherd,
Broussard.
Chris Broussard. Yeah, you got all those
Yeah,
guys.
Broussard's there.
Yeah.
But they just kind of stuck in their own bubble.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure what they do, but it seems that Undisputed's kind of on its way out. I think I don't know what they're going to do as regards to if they keep it going, if they replace the show, if they just move one of the other shows in front of it now.
I think Speak for Yourself.
I think it's just called Speak now.
Oh, it's just called Speak.
Yeah, so
That was the other popular show that
Yeah.
was interesting.
I like Speak, but Speak is also kind of on that same line of trying to get different athletes to talk about another sport. Like I don't want to hear LaShawn McCoy talk about basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear McCoy and Jones talk about the Lakers, like just because they're Lakers fans. Like it's just you're not going to get authentic basketball takes. It's kind of like the same thing with ESPN. I don't want to talk about the Knicks 24/7 because that's basically all. Like most of the employees work for MSG. So
Yeah, Monica McNutt,
Alan Hahn,
Alan Hahn.
Stephen A. Smith, essentially.
Sure.
So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts, Gio, as far as the future of Skip and FS1? We'll kind of be more brief on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really quickly, I think Skip is going to. I don't think he's done with his career. I think he's going to just turn it into because everyone's going towards like starting their own podcast, and he sees that that's actually been a good route for people to go down, and
Yeah.
I think he's going to do that. It's less stress. It's easier for him to do at this age. He's getting older, so I think he'll do that. And I think when it comes to the show, I think they're done.
Your laptop's
Simply
not on
put.
D&D.
Yikes.
Put that on D&D.
Yeah, I should do that. But
You should.
I think undisputed, the show is over.
Really?
Done.
I agree. I don't know why I said really.
No, I don't think.
I think it's done.
Yeah.
I think you have to. Because, like, for those that don't know, like, look, I know we're not fond of Skip, but Skip has done so much for other people in his career.
Yeah.
He gave Stephen A. his break.
It's true.
Stephen A. would not be where he is or not be who he is without Skip Bayless.
Mm-hmm.
And he did the same exact thing for Shannon Sharp. And look at the two of them now. So,
A lot of people hate him, though.
yeah.
Who?
Look, Skip is a very polarizing figure. He's a
Yeah.
Twitter warrior. He's a keyboard warrior.
Yeah.
He's all that. He's one of those guys that you're not supposed to like.
Right.
But we all know deep down he really cares about
Yes.
the people he works with. He's very strategic with who he picks.
Yeah, I respect him for it.
I personally I'm not fond of Skip Bayless, but I do wish him well. I wish him all the best.
Yeah.
And if it is the end of his career, then definitely very legendary.
Yeah.
A legendary one at that.
For sure.
But before we move on, where do you think the best fit for Skip would be?
The couch.
Okay.
No.
I kind of figured he was getting there.
The couch.
China.
China, yeah, fair. But
No, he doesn't. No, he still has some left. I would like to see them rotate him into ESPN a few days.
he's not going on to ESPN.
Not a
Like
chance.
maybe one day a week.
He'd have to sign a contract with them, and he's not doing that.
I don't know. I mean, who? What's another media? He can't do play by play.
If
If he
he
takes Barkley's spot.
Oh God, no.
No.
Oh God,
That would be so awful.
that'd be terrible. Give that. If Barkley does retire, give it to Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
Or Vince.
Sorry, the hiccups.
Or Vince.
Or Vince Carter. Yeah, Nets legend Vince Carter at that.
Raptors.
But-
Raptors legend.
Nets
Not-
legend.
Raptor.
We
Raptors.
retired his number first. So
Doesn't matter.
But I remember the dunk contest on the Raptors jersey.
what year was that?
2001.
So you were not alive for that.
I was 2.
91.
2001.
No,
2000. 2000. He said
I
91.
was 2.
So yeah, fair,
Yeah.
fair enough. But yeah, essentially that's Skip Bayless. But I kind of want to stay with FS1 as we transition to our next one because I don't know if you guys saw about a couple months ago when the Bucks got eliminated from the playoffs. Patrick Beverley got into it with a fan and then got thrown out of the game and then refused to answer a reporter's question because she didn't subscribe to the podcast, which you guys should subscribe to ours. We're not going to threaten you if you don't. We're not going to, we won't not interview you if you don't. We don't care.
That's so.
But-
How would he know that she doesn't sub to him?
Yeah.
Well, she said she didn't.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Not subscribe to the podcast.
Who gives a shit?
And
bro?
afterwards, Nick Wright went on probably his
it
most
was
generational,
so-
bro.
I forget what he said.
If you
It was
thought-
so fun.
It was amazing.
so good.
I could show you the video after, but
So good.
if you thought the Brian Windhorst ran on Luka Doncic was great, oh my God, this one was just like, bro, that was Nick Wright in his glory days. Like
That was his best moment.
that was his best moment in his entire career.
Wow.
He cooked his ass completely just from the beginning of him just like hanging out at clubs his rookie year to just treating people like shit. And now Patrick Beverley's out of the NBA. He is signed in Israel to Maccabi Tel Aviv. We actually played them in preseason last year when they injured 3 of our guys, which makes sense that he's going there.
Wow.
So
You know what's crazy? A guy I used to work with, I used to coach basketball with, he used to play on that
Really?
same team in Tel Aviv. Yeah.
Oh wow,
It's pretty crazy.
That's
No,
sick.
it's a really good. It's a really good team though.
Yeah.
I
It
think
is. But like
Israel's a good basketball.
he was offered a lot of vet minimum contracts from NBA teams and basically signed a 2-year vet minimum in Israel. So I'm not sure what he was trying to accomplish with that.
I hope he stays out of the line of fire.
Yeah. Well,
Talk louder. You're
Yeah, I said I hope he stays out of the line of fire if he knows where he's going in Israel.
yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Hope he'll be okay wherever he is.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean those guys are probably all protected. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
You know who
mainstay-
also is going to Tel Aviv? Rokas Jokubaitis, the second round pick from the Knicks. I played in the summer league this year. He's going to go sign in Tel Aviv, apparently.
Never heard of him.
But he's not coming back to play for the Knicks. But he played in the summer league this year for the first time because they drafted him in 2019.
I mean, if you're young, Tom Thibodeau will not play you.
Yeah.
Well, it was just a nobody for 5 years.
You literally just said his name. Now you're calling him a nobody.
Well, he was a nobody, but he came to play for the first season ever after getting drafted.
Yeah.
Because he didn't play in the summer league at all or anything.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Let's get back to Pat Bev.
Yeah, let's get back to Pat Bev. I mean, yeah, if he does ever wind up coming back to the NBA, he still has to sit out 4 games because he did get suspended.
Oh, that's
So
that's funny. He's an ongoing suspension.
He's
Yeah.
not coming back.
no, he's done. He's
Yeah.
washed as
Very
possible.
washed.
Now I want you to go off on Pat Bev because I know there's a history with him and Russell Westbrook.
He broke
Yeah, I
his
mean-
leg.
He
You know
tore his
what?
meniscus, but close enough.
I used to hate Pat Bev a lot more than I did. Like,
Is it because they became teammates?
not even that. Like, I grew in respect for Pat Bev, but obviously after this situation, I lost respect for him again.
Mm-hmm.
But I grew in respect for Pat because I realized how passionate he is for the game of basketball. Initially, I thought he was a dirty player and he just wanted to take out Russ.
He still is.
I don't know if he is dirty though.
He is.
I think he's
He
just one of
is.
those guys that's just like
He gets in your
goes
head.
full force, full passion, and in a way that's kind of like Russ. And then
But Russ
Yeah.
doesn't injure
Unfortunately-
people.
I see. There's a
does,
difference. There's a difference because Russ is the kind of guy that will just bring the energy. Pat Bev tries to get under your skin, kind of like Dylan Brooks.
yeah, you're right.
That's kind of the difference, and that's why Pat Bev does these things that rub people the wrong way. It essentially is the Embiid mindset, except Pat Bev is a lot more. He's like a little.
Feisty.
He's like a little chihuahua,
Yes.
essentially.
Pat Bev and Dylan
But
Brooks are CTE brothers.
No, but I actually like that
Yeah.
for the NBA because it brings. I feel like the NBA is more entertaining to watch when that's going on.
Well, there's a line
What do you think?
because, like, personally, I don't hate what Dylan Brooks does. I think sometimes he's a little
no,
annoying with it,
I hate him.
but
It's like the game within the game.
the game within the game. I don't think.
Do you think LeBron likes Dylan Brooks and Pat Bev?
I think he said he respects Dylan Brooks. He said he respects.
Not
the
when they had
contracts
that thing before remember the whole thing they had before the game started?
Right, but they interviewed LeBron before the Canada game, and he said he respects the contract Dylan Brooks is on.
Okay.
So unless that was a fake video, then that's what LeBron said. But with Dylan Brooks, I don't really hate what he does. He's just trying to be an idiot, and that's just
Yeah.
it's just trying getting in your head,
know,
under
I
your
don't
skin.
like him.
Yeah.
Pat Bev actually does just like the things Pat Bev does is just dirty. It's
Really?
just Dylan Brooks
Yeah.
will do dirty plays from time to time. We know that, but for the
it's
most
purposely.
part, Pat Bev does some sketchy shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's quite prevalent also when you see with the people that he's played with during his career. So
In what right mindset would it be okay for him to hip check Russell Westbrook on the sideline into the boards,
there's no place for that.
knowing where he was on the court?
You know we would have won the chip that year, and then Katie would have never left. You realize that?
Mm-hmm.
But that's a whole nother conversation.
It wasn't
Yeah,
like it wasn't
Gio's
like it
getting
wasn't like
salty right
it wasn't
now.
like he was in like the mid court with open space. Like the boards are right there. He hip checks him into the boards.
Bro, don't bring it up because I might just go in.
Yeah, don't bring it
You
up
know.
for him. Leave.
He
leave
knew what he
brother
was
be.
doing in that mind.
oh, man.
He knew what he was doing.
I pray to God he didn't know what he was doing.
No,
because
he
I will go
definitely did.
in on
He
Pat Bev.
knew.
Bro, if you want to go off, but you don't
I
have
mean,
to. We could save that for another day.
He'll be in the NBA Hall of Fame for menaces.
right.
All right. Here's my theory. Pat Bev ruined the entire trajectory of the NBA from that one play. if Pat Bev doesn't do that one play and Russ stays healthy, Thunder win the chip. If Thunder win the chip, KD doesn't leave. If
Yeah.
KD doesn't leave,
Warriors don't have dynasty.
Warriors don't have that dynasty.
It's a chain
And-
reaction.
Right.
And the balance of the NBA is more competitive and all that stuff. It's just better.
I actually don't know if the Warriors still might have been a dynasty if they didn't get KD.
I don't think so.
Maybe for less.
They would have
longer.
definitely won at least one or two rings.
Yeah, but not as long.
They would have won one.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have won four.
No way.
Definitely not. But
Oh my God.
yeah, Gio's in his feels right now. It's unfortunate,
This
but
is bringing back
I'm
bad memories.
I'm excited to see the vids of Pat Bev next year if anything interesting happens.
he'll probably.
He's
go
going to
like-
get cooked.
How many technical fouls is he going to get? Like, at least like 50.
Yeah.
I don't know how. We'll see. I don't
But
know.
Yeah.
but yeah,
No.
But yeah, we in all seriousness though, we do wish Pat Bev the best, even though we don't like a player.
Yeah.
We still don't want to be assholes.
No.
We do wish him the best in Israel, and if he ever comes back to the NBA, we'll see what happens. I just want to say that I correctly called him getting traded because he requested out of the Lakers last year, and as soon as Embiid was ruled out for the regular season, I tweeted it out. I was just like, he's going to request a trade now, knowing him, because he ducks the smoke. And that's exactly what happened. He got traded to the Bucks.
Just don't come back to the Knicks. You can come back to one of the expansion teams.
He can come back to the Knicks.
Yeah, come back to the Knicks.
Bro, he could ruin that team. Oh, I fucking love
Just
that.
come back to one of the expansion teams.
What a hater.
Yeah, bro. We have their future. I need them to lose.
Yeah, you're right.
Come back to one of the expansion teams.
We'll see by that
Go to
time.
Seattle.
We'll see.
That's what we're going to talk about.
Don't go to
Later on in the
don't
episode.
go to
Later on.
Vegas. Don't go to Vegas.
We'll go to Vegas. But it is time for us to move on to the next segment. All right, into the next segment. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gio's time to shine because Russell Westbrook.
Thank you.
Rick. Russell Westbrook is a Denver.
Wait, hold on.
Got sent
What
to
did you just
Utah.
say?
Got sent to Utah.
Fix that.
Fix what?
You said brick.
Did I?
Yeah, you said.
I thought I said
West.
Westbrook.
You mean-
Russell Westbrook
He's a Utah Jazz.
is a Denver Nugget. He's a Denver Nugget. He has joined forces with Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Obviously,
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Championship season.
championship season. You got to do your thing, bro. You got to do your thing.
It smells like finals loss.
Okay, buddy. You're canceled.
I
Stop
mean,
talking.
that'll still be farther than the Knicks will ever get to with this core.
It
so.
smells like first round exit.
Just like the Knicks. Let's go.
It smells
Let's
like play and
go.
exit.
buddy.
Play and exit is crazy.
Buddy, you're canceled. You've already been canceled, so I don't know why you're still talking.
Anyway,
Tyler, keep going.
Let's
Don't mind this guy.
Let's give some context to the situation. So obviously the Clippers lost Paul George. A bunch of contract stuff didn't work out. He walked to Philly. Russ opted in, and barring now that they've lost Paul George, they were going to trade him. The Nuggets were essentially going to trade Russell Westbrook and maybe give them like Zeke Naji or Reggie Jackson or whoever, but they wound up salary dumping Reggie Jackson. So that essentially took that out of play. And, without KCP, that kind of left some cap open, even though he's not his replacement. But they couldn't really get a trade done with the Clippers. The Jazz jump in because Kris Dunn was not returning, so he decided to do a sign and trade with the Clippers, which sent Kris Dunn over to LA and Russ to the Jazz for the second year in a row. And for the second year in a row, instantly was bought out. So a very interesting journey. Danny Ainge and Russell Westbrook probably have a good relationship, though, because of this, just like with Drew Holiday and Joe Cronin of the Trailblazers.
Yep.
So, he clears waivers, I think, 2 days ago at the time of recording, either a day or two. And we'll join the Denver Nuggets. Now, this was a player that both Nikola Jokic and DeAndre Jordan heavily advocated for years. And now that the opportunities finally came, this shores up the backup point guard spot because, my God, Reggie Jackson minutes last year were hard to watch. So, I think before I let you go off, I just want to say he is not starting. I don't know why everyone keeps thinking he's the replacement for KCP because he's not.
He won't start.
Makes no sense.
I don't think he should start.
He should not start.
Yeah.
I also don't understand why everyone's thinking all of a sudden that the Nuggets are a first-round exit because their fifth option is gone.
Who's saying that?
Everyone. Kendrick
Really?
Perkins said the other day on SportsCenter or on one of the shows that he would take the Lakers over the Nuggets this season. A Lakers team, keep in mind, that got worse than last year. So there you go. But Kendrick
Was this
Perkins,
after the Russ
yes.
thing?
But keep in mind, Kendrick Perkins is a Nuggets hater. So
Yeah.
don't take anything too strongly from him.
Yeah.
But look, Gio, we're going to open up the floor to you. I want you to take your time because this is going to go up as a segment on our channel. This is going to be our big boy segment. So
Yeah.
the floor is yours, my friend.
Okay, well, I want to start it off and just say hello to all my fellow Nuggets supporters, Nuggets fans, the entire fan base, the Jokic fans, Tyler, you included.
Okay.
Welcome. Not welcome, but welcome me.
Bro just
Welcome me.
welcomed himself. That's crazy.
I'm here. And I'm ready to win with y'all. Before I was talking all that mess, talking all that trash about the Nuggets, Jokic, this, that, I never even said those things. I don't even know what y'all are talking about. Who even said that? I don't even know. All I know is that it's Nuggets all the way.
Yeah.
Okay? And look, all Russell Westbrook has to do, and you said this last time, Tyler.
Yep.
All he has to do is fill that Bruce Brown role, and the Nuggets win that chip. Let's go. I'm so ready.
Absolutely.
But I do have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Surprisingly, and I want to know what you guys think. I want to start with Anthony. What do you think about? Why do you think players want Russ on their team? For example, Jokic and DeAndre Jordan, as you said.
I should know
Why
the reason,
do they
so I'll
want?
let him go off first.
Yes.
I think just veteran presence.
That's
And
it?
Somebody they could trust.
Well,
Man-
there's so many veterans
a man
around the
of
league.
few
But why
words.
Russ? Why Russ?
I think just the mentality.
Okay.
I think also because they have a young bench,
Yeah.
and you kind of need somebody to anchor that young bench.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking, so Brown's going to make the jump to starting shooting guard.
Yeah.
You're presumably having a bench of, Deron Holmes would have been there, but now since the torn Achilles, he's out. But I guess you're having, DeAndre Jordan's the other vet, but he's not playing minutes.
Their bench unit's going to be comprised of Russell Westbrook, Julian Strawther,
Peyton
Watson, and Dario Saric.
That's
Yes,
pretty
and
fire.
Saric is another vet, but not Russell Westbrook vet.
Okay.
That's what
Right.
you need, and plus the point guard on the second unit is probably the most important position, because when you have all your starting five out, you need someone to get the ball to, say, Strawther, Watson if they're open for a
Think
three.
about this, though.
And
I
you
think
need,
I think he needs to play a lot of minutes with Jokic though when Jamal
Russ,
Murray's on the bench.
I
that's
agree.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, think about this.
I want to see that.
Think about this, though. I want to.
Wait, is it? Are
guys
you giving the reason to it?
No.
Okay, because I want to. Yeah.
No, you're going to do that.
Okay.
But think about this. They went Jokic, DeAndre Jordan, whoever. They wanted Russ over CP3. He's another very good point guard, Hall of Famer.
Yep.
But they wanted Russ. Why do you think
CP3 would
they
have cost
wanted
more
Russ?
money.
No.
Well, no, because
No?
CP3 would cost the minimum. The one thing with CP3, they've already broke down his game essentially in the playoffs. It's not really fit for a championship at this point. At least I think. I think he's also a lot less durable than Russell Westbrook. But Vic Lombardi, I don't know who you guys. Do you guys know the name?
Yes.
He's the one that said the Lakers' daddy famously last summer. He was on a radio show in Denver. One of my friends sent me the clip the other day, and gave a pretty strong reasoning as to why Russell Westbrook should be a welcome sight to Denver. And yeah, you could talk about the veteran presence, you could talk about the durability, you could talk about the energy, you could talk about all of it. He's going to challenge guys. And that's so important in the sense that someone like Jamal Murray, point guard, Reggie Jackson's never playing over you. You get complacent after winning a championship.
Yep.
You need someone that's going to challenge you in practice, someone that's going to get you going, and someone that's going to get up in your face when you're not essentially with it. I know I hate his guts, but I would have taken PJ Tucker on the Nets in a heartbeat just for that reason alone. Because a lot of our guys just kept very complacent during, after we made that second round run before the injuries happened. And I do agree with you, Antoine, in the sense that the bench is going to be so important because, outside of Christian Brown, who's now going to be a starter, this bench has no experience really in the playoffs. I mean, Dario Saric played in the finals, but he only played one game before getting hurt. So this is a very inexperienced bench. I'm not really sure who else they could or want to get maybe as like a backup five because DeAndre Jordan minutes in the playoffs are probably very bad. But, you only play 6 to 7 guys anyways, 7 to 8 maybe. So presumably, as this roster is currently constructed, it's probably going to be the starting five, Russ, Saric, and Peyton Watson. I think that's probably the 8 you run with for now. But
I think
Charlotte gets in there because just the summer league,
it
how
depends.
good he looks.
It depends on because Peyton Watson was great in the summer league and was invisible in the playoffs.
I think Russ is going to be outstanding for Peyton Watson's growth in the league. Outstanding. He's going to have a huge year either this year or next year, Peyton Watson, because of Russ. And we've seen Russ's effect on his teammates everywhere he's been.
Yep.
Everywhere. You can say, oh, Russ, wherever he goes, they're not going to win a championship. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
He has the players around him, they take level. They just level up. They take 10 steps up when Russ comes over there. For example, Washington. When Russ got over there, Bradley Beal's game went from here to here. Okay, all NBA, first team.
Yep.
Denny Avdia as well. Gafford. All those guys got a name after Russell Westbrook was there. Another team he went to, the Clippers, of course. Terrence Mann had a career year when Russ was there. Yeah. Who else? There's other. Victor Oladipo on the Thunder. When Victor came to the Thunder, he had a career year. So people have said, players have said, Russ challenges them to the point where they become the best player that they can be, the best version of themselves on the court. So this is what Jokic wants. Okay?
Yeah.
This is what he needs in Denver, and he got it.
Also, I forgot whose podcast it was, but they had Lonnie Walker on. Nets legend Lonnie Walker.
Yes.
I kind of hope he comes back, but I doubt it. Said that Russell Westbrook is the best teammate he's ever played with. So
where was he when he played?
Talk about it.
in LA.
LA Lakers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because during that year before Russ got traded, Lonnie Walker was starting. He was playing outstanding, then got hurt, and then all the trades happened and wound up not being in the rotation until the second round against the Warriors, where he popped off. And that's essentially where he got, the deal with the better New York team. So
I love how you snuck that in there.
It's not the better New York.
It definitely
Lonnie's a
is.
former first-round pick who's actually really good in college.
Yeah, I love Lonnie Walker.
He was a Spurs guy.
He has a history too. He's been through a lot, so it's good to see him. I hope someone signs him to a long-term deal because he said he's looking for a forever home. So I hope he can.
I'm telling you, I want a Russell Westbrook documentary, like 10 years after he retires, and it's gonna show you how much of a good teammate he was, not just as a person. Obviously, he's a great person. We know that. Yeah. But as a player and how he challenges, how he pushes other teammates. It goes unspoken.
You know what's going to be a generational combo to the haters? Russell Westbrook and Jokic's brothers. Oh my gosh, that's a big three right there.
Why don't we petition for a 30 for 30 doc for Russ?
I mean, he'll get one at the end.
Or a Netflix series like Quarterback.
I would love
where they follow him.
I will fund that. With all my money that I have, I will fund.
They're gonna call it they would call it point guard.
They call it Brick.
Oh, Brick. They call it Brick.
Bro. They'll call it Zero.
Or if the NBA had a Hard Knocks, you could. It would have been great. It would have been great to follow them during training camp.
Just thought of something. Not Hard Knocks related. What number is he gonna wear?
What?
In Denver.
0.
Because Christian Brown wears 0. Oh. And Hunter Tyson wears 4. So is he gonna choose a new number?
He has.
He's gonna choose what's it gonna be.
Ooh.
Whoever's right gets something.
Unless Christian Brown is up Brown.
Okay, so I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna get that he takes 0 from Brown.
Yeah, Brown wore 2 in college. So he could take 0 from CB, but I doubt it.
What do you guys think?
I think, you know what? The backup point guard, for some reason, just works with one specific number because Monte Morris and Bruce Brown both wore number 11. I think Russ carries on the torch.
So you chose
my favorite number 11. Yeah,
well, it makes sense because he knows me.
He knows
that's my favorite number. He might wear it.
He is an avid floor space reviewer, but also says that Gio's draft takes are terrible.
Who?
Russell Westbrook.
No, he doesn't.
He literally told me the other day.
He likes my takes.
Yeah.
He likes my takes.
I'm fine with 11.
That would be cool. You have to pick a number.
Your own number.
He picks like 25. He chooses 3. I knew he was going to choose that. Yeah.
Can I go with? Can he choose 1?
I'm going to check what numbers are retired.
Wasn't he 1? No, he wasn't 1. Was
no, he wore 0 and 4 in his entire career.
Why not go with number
college
1
as well?
So subtract another 1 off. Make it 1.
The Nuggets retired jersey numbers: number 2 for Alex English. So I don't think Christian Brown gives up his number then. 6, obviously the whole league for Bill Russell. Number 12 for Fat Lever. And then 33 for David Thompson.
Who's
40.
Fat Lever?
Fat Lever was a legend,
really?
bro.
Come on, bro. He was James Harden before James Harden.
That's bro. So they retired 33 for David Thompson, 40 for a guy named Byron Beck. Only played 1 season and averaged 4 points a game.
He's retired.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
I don't know.
Let me look that up.
Dan Issel, number 44, legend, and then 55 for no, not today.
Mutombo?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm betting on that he keeps 0.
So 0, 1, 11.
Yeah, I'll
That's
go
what
with
we're
1.
saying.
Okay.
Wait, you said Byron Beck?
Okay, so now who, like, if one of us wins, what do we get?
What are we gonna do? What's our plan here?
You buy me lunch.
We betting lunch on it?
Yeah.
The 2 have to split on lunch for the winner?
Yeah.
Are we doing this only if we get it right or whoever's closer?
Let's do
whoever gets it right.
Whoever gets it right.
The loser has to buy? No.
Yeah, both losers have to.
Both losers or whoever's far not who's farther.
No, yeah, but whoever's
Both
farther away. If whoever's closest is safe or right, but whoever's the farthest away has got to buy lunch for both.
No, because if you get it wrong, you have to do it. So the 2 will split on lunch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
We'll do it. We'll do a shake on camera. Do a shake on camera.
Lock it in.
So, but yeah.
Right.
How do we? Before I guess we move on. How do we see this working out for Denver?
Champ.
You think they're win the championship?
No, I hope they should be back there. But they needed
Project Dynasty still in full effect, man.
They need the bench depth. I think they still need another center. I don't think Zeke Naj is going to fill that.
He's going to get traded.
Yeah,
so they will get another center.
Somebody.
Yeah,
it would have been Deron Holmes, but
I don't know if he would have been ready for playoff time. I think the Christian Brown thing was such a one-off, where a rookie can just plug in like that.
I'm excited for Strother. He looked really good in summer. Like I hope he pans out. And he's a former Gonzaga guy.
He got hurt a lot last year, which is why he didn't play much.
Yeah.
He had a lot of knee issues. So So yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with.
I'm interested
Denver
to see
Nuggets
if they get worse with the KCP departure.
They won't.
They'll miss him in some spots because Christian Brown is nowhere near the shooter KCP is, but I think he's a better defender than KCP is. I think he's got a. He was clamping up Anthony Edwards in that second round series.
I'm gonna
So-
make a bold take. I'm gonna say MPJ is gonna be the leading scorer for the Nuggets this season.
Wow. I like that
Nuts.
though.
This,
I like it. And
weirdly enough, he's been playing so well, but because of the new CBA, this might be a make it or break it year
I
for
think.
him.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a. Unfortunately, I think Jamal's gonna have a down year in his contract year, and they're not gonna bring him back.
They're about to sign him to an extension.
Oh, so that's gonna go through then. Okay.
His
So
down year was in the playoffs this past year.
Yeah.
right.
So
But no, I think MPJ is gonna have his number one recruit.
I'm gonna make a
scoring
bold
type.
take as well.
yeah.
Jamal Murray is gonna be an all-star.
Ooh. Also,
That's fine.
Russ is the first player in the rotation that's an all-star with Jokic. Because obviously DeAndre Jordan's been an all-star, but he's washed now.
Yes, but you can say Russ is washed.
What are the?
Yeah, true.
What are the odds if Aaron Gordon wins DPOY?
He was my pick last year. It didn't happen. But
Who's your pick this year?
my
Really
pick
quick.
this year for DPOY. Well,
John
we're
Isaac.
gonna-
Actually, wait.
it's gonna be-
You want to know something
It's got to
funny?
be Wemby. Like,
Yes, Wemby. Yeah.
we'll make our predictions later on.
Yeah.
Gordon was good when he had short hair. He's got to cut those locks.
No, he's good with the locks,
and just
bro.
have short hair.
It makes him look bigger.
Yo, locks give you superpowers, bro. You run faster, you jump higher when you got the
Yeah.
locks. Trust me.
Yeah.
I need a bold prediction for this season, though. What's my bold prediction going to be?
Just
for
for the
this
Nuggets.
season?
Do one.
Yeah,
What's
just for
the
Nuggets.
name of their head coach again?
Mike Malone.
Malone.
Michael Malone. He doesn't
Michael
like being
Malone.
called Mike.
Michael.
Michael Malone. But my bold prediction for the Nuggets. He's a bench player. I don't know if I should.
Peyton.
I think Peyton Watson makes all defensive second team off the
Wow.
bench. That's my bold prediction.
Also,
Very
what,
bold.
what if Russ? What are the odds that Russ wins sixth man of the year?
I would say it's not as high as it was
Not
last
as high.
year.
He's not going to be an explosive guy. Like someone like Malik
Yeah.
Monk is just going to score
Yeah.
and score.
You think Peyton Watson gets second team all defense?
All defense, yeah.
Okay.
And maybe.
I think their young guys all have a nice jump. It's just going to be who's going to be the better one.
Yeah.
Right.
I think this will also be a really good year for Jokic, too.
Every year's a good
So-
year.
Yeah, it's like
But he somehow manages.
not that bold.
He
It's like-
somehow manages to outdo himself every single time.
is he gonna outdo himself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine he averages a triple double this year. He's
Well,
come
it would
close.
be. It would only be right because
Only be
Russ is
right.
there.
Russ is one triple double away from 200 in his career. Jokic is
wow.
hot on his
You
tail.
got to give him a 10-10-10 triple double.
Yeah.
He's already at the 20-20-20.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm assuming our ceiling for Nuggets is championship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the media is just trying to not like them. So I think that's probably why.
It's still a three horse. I think OKC is there with them.
I think right now, I think OKC is the only real threat to Denver.
I don't view OKC.
And I don't even think they're like,
Minnesota can come back.
they could, but I don't know. They had a perfect year as far as health goes. So we'll see if they can duplicate that because Denver wasn't able to. So it's, it really depends. But aside from that, I think it's going to be a fine year in the Mile High as long as everyone stays healthy. I think
Indeed.
they're really everything's predicated on Jamal Murray being healthy.
That's
And
the
if
same.
he's
That,
not,
that's
then I don't think they're going to win.
they're following.
Russ could step in for a few months,
The
but
Nuggets.
Jamal has
The
to
Nuggets
be-
are following the same predicament, situation, whatever, as the Knicks with health.
With health, no, because the Knicks have an entire roster outside of Mikal Bridges that are all predicated on health. It's really just Jamal Murray.
Sorry, bro.
Try
You didn't deserve that one, but
No, but
you asked for
I-
it. Though. You asked
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, because right now it's literally just Jamal.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
So it's essentially that's what it is. But yeah, we'll see. Welcome Nuggets fans to Big Man Guile over there. He's hype. He's ready.
I'm
are you,
so ready.
Are you gonna buy a Russell Westbrook Nuggets
I
jersey?
might.
You have to.
They're not going to
might.
sell it, so you got to get it customized.
No, they'll sell it.
Really?
It's Russell Westbrook.
Of
Come
course,
on.
bro.
Okay.
Hall of
That's-
Famer.
Did you know that when he left the Clippers, 1 million people unfollowed
No,
the
it was
Clippers account?
it was a photoshopped image.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't
I
fall
thought that was
for
verified.
That.
No.
You sure?
You can't
Remember,
fall for
verified on
that,
Twitter
bro.
is anyone
No,
can buy.
no, it was verified on like a Bleacher Report or something like
No,
that.
they fell for it.
You
Did
need,
they?
You need to stop looking at NBA Centel.
Bro, what are you talking? I don't even know what that means.
Fell down a
but-
rabbit hole. Oh
Okay.
God, but yeah. Any final thoughts on Russell Westbrook? Do we real quick? Do we think Kris Dunn will pan out well for the Clippers? No. Since he was part of this deal.
No, that's just. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
All I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I think he could probably get flipped to a contender.
I will say,
Who?
Kris Dunn.
Chris Dunn.
Steve Ballmer builds a very nice arena, but his team building,
That's not his fault. That's Lawrence
Yeah.
Frank. He's got to fire him.
yeah. But he
So-
builds a very nice dome. Intuit Dome has the biggest
It's
surround
sick, bro.
360
Yeah, nuts.
monitor,
It's beautiful.
and the graphics look insane.
They have T-shirt tosses from like different parts in the stadium too, so everyone
and
can get a chance.
That's so
all the seats light up
going.
for like a type of type of thing, and every seat also has a USB-C plug-in.
Yeah.
because
Every seat.
every seat has
Okay.
a USB-C plug-in.
That's
to your
excessive.
phone.
Do we want to go see a Nets Clippers game in LA? Because it's the cheapest.
I'll go to the Intuit Dome.
It's the cheapest. It's probably the cheapest team they'll play against.
Yeah, I'll go to.
Yeah.
The monitor graphics look really nice on the monitor.
Yeah.
I'm so down to go to a game at the Intuit Dome. It's gonna be
Go,
fire.
you know, if we happen to be in LA
And then-
for some
and then
reason,
why
let's go.
would PG want to leave that?
The
bro?
only way that
Crazy.
you enter the arena, you have your ticket, but the way it remembers you, you get to scan your face on the face ID system.
Steve Ballmer's amazing.
Yeah,
That
Steve Ballmer.
sounds-
I want him to buy
he's
Liverpool.
So great.
Wow.
He built a nice stadium.
Well, it
Nice
wasn't
arena.
him. He just
Arena.
hired the right
Arena.
people.
No, but he envisioned all of this.
No,
his
he
ideas,
did.
yeah.
He did.
Okay, he's
yeah.
cool. He's cool.
When he first came in, he said, "I need to build it." The first thing he said was the arena.
Okay, I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wish Russell Westbrook and Kris Dunn the best in their respective situations. And yeah, I think it's time we move on.
Yep.
All right, into the next segment. And just a little quick update, the NBA did receive the bid from TNT and they will review it. So next week we'll probably have a dedicated segment. You'll probably see it in the title and thumbnail. And we'll probably be rejoicing that TNT is back with NBA games, or at least not going away, essentially. But
Yeah.
let's get into some trade talks. We don't really talk about this too much during this time because it's all about signings and prospects and stuff like that. But we'll start off with my Brooklyn Nets. Making a move that I've actually wanted them to make for a while now, and they finally have. And we have traded Mamadi Diakite, who we got from the Mikal Bridges deal, and I think a second-round pick to the Memphis Grizzlies for Ziaire Williams. Ziaire Williams, for those that don't know who he is, he was the 10th overall pick in the same draft as Cam Thomas in 2021 and Daron Sharp, obviously. He made, I think, like a 78-footer or like a 75-footer buzzer beater in Phoenix a couple years ago. That's what he's like most known for. And I know he hangs around a lot with like a lot of the NBA YouTubers and a lot of the 2K guys. So, he's very well acclimated with them. So he's definitely a fan favorite. But I feel like he never really got the time to shine in Memphis, kind of playing behind Santi Aldama and company. Yeah. So this really gives him the opportunity to really develop because he's developed a lot slowly. And a lot of people are seeing the potential of Ziaire Williams. Yeah. I know actually a Knicks fan, I'm going to look for the bookmark tweet right now from the thing, because we just keep getting these really good prospects from the Mikal Bridges trade. And it's just looking more and more like a fleece every day as time goes on.
You gonna let him talk to you like that, bro?
Yeah, bro.
We'll talk when all the picks have been selected 7 years from now.
I found the tweet.
When the podcast is on FanDuel or Bleacher Report, wherever we're at in 7 years from now.
Do you follow this kid, Antoine? I don't think you do. OG Anunoby, playoff bound NYK. OG Anunoby. Put the tweet on the screen. He says that Mikal Bridges trade, the Mikal Bridges trade tree is about to look absolutely ridiculous for Brooklyn. Holy fleece.
Wait, what's his name? Playoff. Oh, I do follow him.
Yeah. So
yeah,
he tweeted that out. And a lot of Knicks fans, in typical Knicks fan fashion, are like, bro, Zaire's not good, bro. Like, yada, yada, yada. But, like, again, like he keeps resorting back to we're focusing on the now, which is a very panic move for the future because the future's nothing, essentially. But, look, I think he fits the timeline. He's the same age as a lot of our core guys. I don't really see a need to keep around some of these guys that we have, like DFS, Cam Johnson, and those guys. I think Dennis Schroeder's the only one I want to keep.
Yeah.
So I think he's so vital for our young guys' development, especially at the point guard position, because we've lacked that for a long time. And yeah, I mean, any quick thoughts on this? Do you see this, even though it seems like it's a small move, do you see anything working out as far as Ziaire Williams in Brooklyn?
I know a lot more probably about than you.
You probably do, but I've seen him play a little here and there, and he seems like he's a good player.
Yeah,
I like his play style. So
he was a lottery pick that was on a lot of teams' radars. Memphis got him. I thought they took a great pick with him to pair with Ja, but he was a 1 year guy at Stanford. They were really hyped on him in the Pac-12. Yeah. I think he's a high flyer. He can dunk.
Yeah. He's not like
6'9", small forward.
Yeah, he's good size.
Yeah, but he should be putting up. He put up 8 points in his first year there, and then fell off tremendously. And he rebounded this year pretty well.
Didn't get minutes.
Yeah,
That's
He's someone with potential that could be a nice piece.
Yeah.
I always liked him when they drafted him.
I personally would have preferred Santi Aldama. I think the ceiling's really high with him.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my European bias, but
You're not moving. You're not getting him. That's
I think
the problem.
they were floating him around in trades, but I think Ziaire Williams was a lot cheaper for us, and I think he fits a need as a backup power forward, or maybe even just
Small
a backup
forward.
small forward, because right now our small forward's clogged up.
Yeah.
So we need a backup power forward, essentially. Because DFS is gone after the season anyways. He's an expiring contract.
Yeah.
So we'll need someone to play behind Noah Clowney. So, look, I like the move for us. And that kind of transitions us into another potential rumored trade is that the Nets are looking to shop Cam Johnson around, which is, quite obvious. And San Antonio's become a destination that he could fit well in. And presumably with the contract, he's making like 21 or 23 million this year. And the presumed return would be a first-round pick and Keldon Johnson, which, yes, Keldon Johnson's a better player than Cam Johnson. But as far as fit goes around Wemby needs to be more on ball. You can't have – no one was passing him the ball. I think Cam Johnson will allow more spacing in the corner and just kind of allow Wemby to do his thing more, essentially speaking. But I don't know if that's really necessarily a good sort of spot for him. But I think the question for you guys I want to ask, what should San Antonio do? Because they've got a lot of picks to play around with, and R.C. Buford wants to move them. And they could either go for a guy like Cam Johnson. They could give up the house for Lauri Markkanen. They could do a lot here. And I'm not sure exactly what their plan is. What do you think the Spurs should do from here to maximize Wemby before he reaches his prime?
Well, I think they've already done it. And I think they got Chris Paul.
You need more than just Chris Paul.
No. But here's the thing. You're not going for a championship right now, obviously.
No.
You're going for development for Wembanyama. And I think Chris Paul is going to provide a lot of that growth for Victor.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. All you need when you're young, you need the ball in your hands a lot. You need to make a lot of mistakes. And then you need a good point guard. If you're a forward or whatever you are, forward center, you need a good point guard. And I think they got that. They don't have enough good players as to where Vic is not going to get the ball too much, and they also have a good point guard. That's all. That's a recipe for success for a young player who's trying to learn the NBA and grow. So I think they already did what they had to do. I mean, getting Cameron Johnson on the team would, I guess, it would help them win games because spacing would be nice and all that stuff. But I think they're already ready. Not ready to compete for a championship. Ready for Victor to
keep
have
developing,
growth.
keep going. Yeah,
I think that's all you need to do.
They're building. CP3 is, I think, going to be there for a year because Stephon Castle is their franchise point guard after he leaves.
He's only on a 1-year deal, CP3.
Yeah. So once he leaves, Stephon takes over. CP3 is going to help Stephon develop as well.
Yeah,
and Vassell.
That too.
He's gonna just help
Vassell, Castle, and Wemby is like their core. And then you have Sohan. You see what you can get with him. Cam Johnson would slot in that first forward spot. Nice veteran presence.
He just replaced
with your guys.
He'd replace Keldon Johnson in the starting lineup, essentially speaking.
But they have more draft picks. They're going to draft. It would have been sick if they kept Rob Dillingham, but they got a first-round pick.
Yes.
I just don't see the need of...
No, because he would have been a point guard. He has Stephon Castle.
You don't need Stephon Castle and Rob Dillingham.
Yeah.
So.
But they got a first.
Who's better? I say get the better player. I think Rob is good.
Stephon Castle, in my opinion,
Stephon
as far
was
as talent, is probably the best player in the entire draft class.
Yeah, Stephon.
So I think you needed to go for him.
Rob's going to be great. But
They're
I
both
think
going to be phenomenal. But
we'll see what happens.
I think it's just there's no need to clog up your roster with 2 point guards, and you're not going to play both of them because Vassell is probably your second option.
You think they kept the better point guard?
Yeah, Stephon was.
Well, it makes sense,
We'll
right?
see. I think Rob's going to translate to the NBA much better.
Well, that's going to be a lot more skewed because he's going to be playing for a contender.
Exactly.
And he's going to be playing alongside Anthony Edwards.
He's also not going to get the ball as much.
He might.
Well,
though.
once Conley retires, he's a starting point guard there.
Because Conley's only got 1 more year left on his deal.
Yeah.
Right.
So essentially, he'll probably stay on a cheaper deal, but eventually they'll swap. He'll start, and we'll see kind of what happens from there. Okay. But yeah, essentially. So are you out on Lauri Markkanen to San Antonio?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk Lauri Markkanen then, because obviously this was an option for San Antonio. They're considering trading up all their picks to get him. The Golden State Warriors are in intense trade talks with the Jazz, and they have been for the past few weeks on a Lauri Markkanen deal. Now, Golden State's already coming forward with Kuminga picks and Moses Moody. The problem is the Jazz want Podziemski. And look, I mean, it's really a trade-off in the sense of when you have an all-star you're trying to trade for, you kind of have to give up the pieces. But Podziemski they see as their next franchise player, essentially.
With Keontae.
Correct. Yeah. But that's who. I mean, though they see the Warriors see Steph. I mean, the Warriors see Pods, not the Jazz.
Oh yes, yes.
The Warriors
Correct.
see Pods as their franchise player alongside Kuminga, but they're more apt to give up Kuminga. But the Jazz they prioritize Pods over Kuminga.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I guess if you're in the shoes of Mike Dunleavy, what do you do? Because you could either give up Podziemski, you can give up someone else, or you can just essentially just back off and essentially go for someone else. But I don't think anyone else on the market's better.
They still got to move Wiggins if they decide. But if I'm the Jazz, I think even though they're going to get probably the same amount, if not one pick more than we gave for McHale. But if you want to really, it's tough because if Lauri gets injured in his season or if he's just having a stinker in the first half, his trade value in the deadline is going to be really low. So you're banking on him having, I guess, a good first half, and you're going to bank on as well getting a really good return from a contender that wants to buy Lauri at the deadline. You're going to probably get a pick or two more, maybe a good, better play than in the offseason. But
Right.
you're also risking if Lauri gets injured, if he's performing not well at all. So, there's a high risk, high reward for certain things with Ainge. But if you move him now, you're still going to get a hell of a return. But it's up to the teams and if they're willing to part with the capital. Because looking at the McHale, I think he wants to get probably one or two more first-round picks, if not more players as well. I think he stays to the deadline. I don't think he moves.
I think he just signs a supermax or a max with Utah. I
Utah.
don't see him moving.
I agree with that.
I think that's a good building piece for Utah.
Right, but I just think Danny Ainge just for some reason just is not in the mood to win right now.
Yeah.
He just wants to collect his picks. He wants to collect his young talent. That's why I think the Jazz will be a dynasty in the 2030s. Because I think they have so much capital.
They have
so
so
much
many young
talent.
players.
Playing the long game.
It's going to be Danny Ainge. Remember, he started this Jazz rebuild now. He started the Celtics rebuild literally 10 years before that, and they won the championship now. So, like I'm saying, the Jazz are in prime position to be a dynasty.
Yeah, the
in
Jazz's
2030s.
draft this year, they got 3 really decent players.
Yeah.
Collier.
But even not with these players, like they
Williams,
can they're going to
Filipowski.
keep cycling until they're ready to compete. They're going to keep cycling out these stars and these young pieces for more picks. And that's
until they find their guys.
yeah. That's why I stand on business by saying the Jazz are the hottest commodity in the NBA.
Interesting.
Because it's nuts. It's just ridiculous the way they function. And look, it's like you're dealing with the devil when you're making trades with Danny Ainge because you got to give up a lot. You don't play around, and it's clear that the returns that Danny Ainge gets back works.
Yeah.
So teams need to negotiate better. You're never going to fleece Danny Ainge. So
Danny's 10 steps ahead.
steps ahead. Exactly. That's why the Knicks are never going to get Walker Kessler. So,
Fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
he was on.
I
saying last
don't
year
want
that's gonna
him.
happen.
I don't want him.
Yeah, you do.
You do
don't
want
want
him,
him.
but
Yeah, you do.
I don't want
you don't want to give up the assets.
No,
for him.
I have faith in Mitch to be better, but
Cap.
if he sucks, then I don't have.
You've been shitting on that guy
Guys,
for the past month
well,
and a half.
because he's injured every year. If he's not injured this year, then yes, fine.
I mean, it makes sense. He's always saying this team is predicated on health. So
yes.
At least you're
will,
consistent
we have.
with that.
We'll talk
Even
about
a
this
healthy
once the
Mitch.
season starts.
Even a healthy Mitch.
No, I want Hartenstein back. It's too late. We'll wait. We'll see how the season starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But any final thoughts on the trade stuff?
No.
All right, let's move on. All right, it's a new day. Didn't really plan on this happening, but here we are. So essentially, we had recorded a segment, as we had mentioned previously, talking about my NBA Cup idea and a couple signings and stuff. We're not going to do that, unfortunately, because the footage really corrupted pretty badly. It sounded like we were in like a giant cathedral. It was just like really echoey, really like bass boosted.
Yeah.
So we had to scrap it. You Charlie horse?
I'm cramping so bad. I'm sorry. Oh my, give me like 5 seconds.
That is incredible. Are we keeping this in?
Yes.
Okay, I'm good.
That is
I'm good. You can
unbelievable.
continue, bro. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, we'll
How
continue.
the hell are you cramping?
Oh God.
All right, you okay?
Yeah.
You good?
I'm back.
All right. It's our first cramp of the stream, or of the
Good
stream.
God.
I'm saying stream, so used to
Of the
streaming.
podcast
Yeah.
ever.
First cramp ever of the Floor Spacer podcast.
Wow.
It took us, 14 and a half episodes technically?
Yeah, I'm not hydrated. I need my electrolytes.
You have a water
Anyways.
sitting right next to you, so you're good.
You know what? You're right.
But yeah,
We're
essentially,
not sponsored.
not sponsored. We had to scrap the footage, unfortunately, because the segment went on for about 30 minutes, and we don't really feel like saying the same thing as we did
No.
before. Essentially, just to kind of quickly breeze through it, I guess. Just instead of the groups being just the same division and conference, why not have one team from each of the 6 divisions? That makes more sense, right? Makes it a
Yeah.
little more interesting. A game in the regular season game, like a Nets Rockets would mean a lot more than just a normal game in like February or March. Doesn't matter. So I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think that'll ever happen. I think it'll still stay, segregated within the conference and stuff like that. But essentially that is that. But we are going to go over some signings. We were originally going to scrap it because it was just Evan Mobley. But a bunch more stuff happened across the span of the past few days. So we'll kind of just go into these. We'll kind of just breeze through the first couple because they're just one-year deals, and we'll just get general thoughts and the ceilings for their teams and stuff like that. So first one-year deal, Spencer Dinwiddie is now a member of the Dallas Mavericks once again. So he went there 2 years ago or 3 years ago as part of the Tingus Pingus trade, if you remember that. And he actually played really well. Got a career high in Game 7 against the Suns in the second round, and they wound up falling short to the Golden State Warriors, who eventually won in the Western Conference Finals. So, I mean, it's clear since the return to Brooklyn, Dinwiddie has kind of gone off a steep slope.
Yeah.
Do you think that in this environment, back with Dallas, back with Luka, getting to play more off ball, do you think that this can kind of revive his career as he's going on to his 30s?
No.
Yeah,
I think he's just a bench guy. I mean, he'll get backup minutes with Jaden Hardy.
I mean, just a bench guy could be a huge piece for a championship team.
I think it's a
but
good
what kind of bench.
It's
guy?
another veteran presence with Clay.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to contribute massively, probably to like come playoff time.
I mean,
That's what I
where-
would think.
That's where he stepped up.
Yeah.
And you got to think too, like maybe if Clay does come off the bench, you have that as your second unit backcourt. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
How much did he sign for?
It's just a 1-year deal, so I'm assuming either
The vet minimum.
either a
In?
vet minimum or any part of the MLE.
Okay.
Yeah.
The MLE is like 12 or 13 mil, so he probably signed for like
Yeah.
half of it maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I said the Mavs need depth, so they lost Josh Green.
Yeah.
So they got the replacement. And
I think he's better than Josh.
he's still
What do you
young.
think?
Josh Green has higher upside,
Josh
but
Green is
at the end
young.
of the day, Dinwiddie is a much more all-around
Yeah,
player.
he's more
Yeah.
polished. Josh
Yeah.
Green was like raw and didn't really play a lot.
Yeah.
Come
I have a question though.
playoff time.
When Mavericks, right? So did they always have either Kyrie or Luka on the floor at all
When?
times?
Last year?
Last year,
I'm pretty sure they did,
so-
yeah.
48 minutes in the game, right?
I think they staggered the minutes,
They
yeah.
staggered the minutes. Okay, so then I don't see this pickup as like super valuable because
Well, maybe
there's
they-
always a ball handler there.
Maybe you don't need to stagger the minutes now that you have Clay, you
Right.
have Dinwiddie,
Yeah.
So okay,
and everything like that.
Okay.
So I think
Maybe-
I think the only thing is just I pray for Derek Lively in the sense that Dinwiddie just overthrows lobs, and he's gonna chuck those right into the first row.
yeah,
It's gonna be rough. So
it'll cause
hopefully-
for some great highlights though.
Oh, absolutely. We
He
saw.
goes up there and gets those.
I'll never forget. We played a game against the Clippers this past season, and Dinwiddie tried throwing a lob up to Day'Ron Sharp, completely airmails him. I go onto the Nets community page. Someone said Dinwiddie throwing a lob. Remember that full court shot that went into it was like deep into the first section of
Yeah,
stands.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So essentially that's that. But you were saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, what was I saying?
That's a great question, Your Honor.
I think I was saying like signing Dinwiddie would like allow Luka and Kyrie to have more rest in the regular season.
Right.
It could help with that, and then come postseason, put those minutes back up. Maybe that's why.
I feel you
sign
on
him.
that. I agree. I think that the Mavs clearly ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Because I think they could have ended a lot of those series a lot sooner than they did. Mm-hmm. Having to go to 6 against OKC or having to go to 5 or 6 against the Clippers, and obviously they came to play against Minnesota. They, they got the rest, I suppose, but I think losing Game 4 was huge for Boston because that made Dallas had to fly back to Minnesota and play that game, and then have to fly back home, then go to Boston. It just was a whole mess.
Yeah.
So they needed to sweep that series, just like the Heat last year. So, do we see anything ceiling-wise for Dallas?
Still the same thing we said before.
Which is,
we said finals or conference finals.
you said that? I didn't say that.
I don't think they can get better.
Or second round.
I'm saying second round.
I'm saying
exits.
second
Yeah.
round as the ceiling. I think top 5, top 4 as far as standings
Yeah.
in the Western Conference, because it
Okay.
is a stacked conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'll say
think
top 5.
It's very health dependent. You see a lot of finals teams typically will not be the most durable the year after, as we saw with Denver and Miami this year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I would say Jason Tatum after a haircut, top 5.
top 5.
Yeah,
top
top
5.
five.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Well, congrats to Nets legend Spencer Dinwiddie. Moving on to the next one, Gary Trent Jr. has signed a 1-year deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I think they signed him to the MLE, which is like 12, 13 mil. Played with Dame back in Portland, so there is chemistry there. He was definitely recruiting him to go to Milwaukee. A bunch of teams were interested. He turned down actually some multi-year deals to go to Milwaukee. So, look, I think Milwaukee needed to make a move. They've been very stagnant this offseason. I think the roster's aging and getting worse, obviously, since losing Drew Holiday. What does Gary Trent sort of bring to the table here for this Milwaukee team?
Oh.
I think Gary, you want to talk? You go
No,
first.
yeah, I think he should start low key, because if you're looking at the lineup, you have Dame, Chris Middleton, probably moving to shooting guard, or vice versa.
They'll put
Trent.
Gary Trent, yeah. They'll
And
probably
then-
play Gary Trent maybe on ball and have Dame
Yeah.
as the 2.
And then I don't know,
Really?
but I
Yeah,
think
maybe.
Trent starts, because you have Pat Connaughton who would start in the 2 or the 3, and then Giannis, of course, with Brook Lopez. But I think Trent's I love Trent, but I think he needs more playing time. So I think he'll get it in Milwaukee, because he wasn't starting in Toronto. He was bench guy, sort of like rotating in.
It was like
Of course, in Portland, he started when he was there for a little
Yeah.
bit. But I think he needs to start. I mean, and then that brings off, I guess, you send Pat Connaughton to the bench, or you vice versa. You play with different lineups. Have Trent come off
Yeah.
the bench a few nights.
Yeah.
But they needed depth too, like Dallas, and they got another player. I still think they needed a few more guys, but
Yeah.
they got a good piece for
Yeah.
depth.
I agree.
Milwaukee's depth concerns me a little bit more. I think they're too reliant on the starters. I think we saw last year in the playoffs that when someone goes down, they're like the Warriors. When Steph's out, they just get
Yeah.
crapped on.
Milwaukee.
It's just like
Yeah.
it's bad
Yeah.
when they're not playing. But
Who's their backup point guard?
Javon Carter. No,
he's on the Bulls. He's on
No.
on the Bulls or he's somewhere else.
it was somebody else. Wait,
It was Pat Bev last year.
Pat
Pat
Bev?
Bev.
Yeah, it was Pat Bev.
They signed
So,
somebody. Hold on.
They signed Torian Prince.
Oh, was it
That's all right.
Torian Prince? Yeah, came
But he's
in.
not a point guard.
No.
So right now, I do think Gary Trent's going to be the backup point guard.
Point guard.
I think
Who-
he's a point guard.
I thought he was more of like a shooting
He
guard.
can do both.
Okay.
I will say that he can do both.
Yeah.
But
I love the pickup, by the way. I love Gary
Trent's
Trent.
great.
great.
really good.
He was the Nuggets' backup option if they didn't get Russ.
Oof.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna be so brutally honest right now.
Oh, they signed DeLon Wright.
oh yeah,
Oh, DeLon, right?
he's going to be the backup point guard.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
And then
pretty
I'm very high on DeLon.
They
He's
they
really
also they have Marshawn Beauchamp who had a good summer league. Hopefully he gets more playing time. They did draft the guy AJ Johnson out of
he's going to be good.
Europe. That was a point guard as
He'll
well.
develop.
He'll develop. And then you have that's really it. Danilo Gallinari's still there, which is
no
interesting.
way,
Yeah.
bro.
That's
And then,
crazy.
Killed
and, then,
NBA.
and then they have someone by the NASA's Antetokounmpo who's going to get a lot of minutes.
Thanasis is
Yes.
still there.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of minutes.
Is Giannis
off the
paying
bench.
for his
I
contract?
would imagine so. Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially.
He's going to get a lot of minutes this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were saying, Gio?
Um.
You said you love the pickup.
Oh yeah. I love Gary Trent. Love the pickup. But I'm not so sure that because Anthony brought up a point where he's saying starting with Gary Trent starting, he's going to get more minutes. I don't think that's always the case. I think a lot of times there's bench players that get more minutes than starters. And so I think Gary Trent off the bench, because like you said, Tyler, they have no bench. So I think Gary Trent off the bench, him being the number one option, because he can create for himself and he can create for others.
Right.
So I view Gary Trent as a very solid backup.
Yeah.
Or not backup, a bench piece,
Yeah.
6-man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and
So,
I think Bobby Portis takes that role a little more.
Bobby, you're right. I forgot about Bobby.
But I think Trent and Bobby run
might-
the
could-
second unit.
He could wind up starting because I know the Bucks have been shopping around Brook Lopez and teams
Yeah,
have
Bobby
been
Portis
interested.
is really good.
So you never know what's going to happen as far as
Right.
that goes. He easily could wind up starting. He started in the Pacers series last year.
Right.
Because as soon as an injury happens, you never know.
Yeah.
And that's why I worry with the Bucks' depth because DeLon Wright's not durable at all.
Yeah,
Right.
I think they definitely need to give some rookies the minutes like Johnson. Beauchamp's been there for like 3-4 years. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to see him play more.
Yeah.
And he had a good summer league, so why
Oh,
not?
really?
Why
What would
not?
you rank it, A through F?
He had a high B.
High B?
He was like their top player with AJ Johnson.
Okay.
But they didn't get to the later rounds. But he's a good player.
Okay.
And he was a first round pick. And then I hear everybody wants him like on Twitter, like that when they were ranking like every team's young player, he's the only young player there besides AJ Johnson. But he's a good guy. He's a good player. He'll give valuable minutes. They just got to play him more.
Yeah.
You have your young guys. AJ Johnson they just drafted. He had a good summer league as well. So play the young guys on your second unit. If you're up by like 20, why not?
I agree.
What do we see ceiling for the Bucks?
They're top 5,
Top 3.
not top 3, top 5.
Ceiling's top 3, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
With Giannis, you always have a shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say top 5. I think top 3 it goes Boston, Indy, New York,
Yeah.
Milwaukee, Philly.
I don't know if you guys have seen Giannis, but he's changed his jump shot a little bit.
So has
His
I'll believe it
mid-range-
when I see it.
It looks smoother.
So
A lot
has
of players-
Lonzo
Yeah.
Ball.
All right, well, we're talking about Giannis.
Yeah,
A lot
but
of
We're talking about
players-
like
talking-
MVP,
talking about-
Hall of Famer.
Talking about jump shot changes though.
A lot of players do things in the offseason, and they don't do it on the floor in
True.
games.
But he's doing it in the Olympics.
Right, yeah, but again, it's
Yeah.
not the NBA.
It's,
But-
yeah,
High level ball.
Yeah.
we'll have to see once
Do you-
the season starts.
We will see.
You said what? You said Boston, Indy, Knicks, and then what?
Philly, Milwaukee interchanging.
Is that just like the best teams in the?
Yeah, those are
in
the
the
top.
East?
Those are the top. I would
Okay.
throw Orlando in the top 5.
You could easily put Orlando in that top
I
5.
think we got to see how the young guys get better
Yeah.
over time. Philly, we'll see what happens with their 3 guys. But definitely Milwaukee has better chemistry than Philly right now. But Philly is a nice team, regardless.
Yeah, I think Milwaukee could get top 3. I think they're a second round team though.
Second round exit.
Yeah,
I think the ceiling is conference finals.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's very.
They have to be healthy.
Yeah.
I think it's obviously health is important, but I think it's very matchup dependent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think their only chance is if you're playing like if a really crappy low seed moves on, or if you're playing Philly or the Knicks, because they're the only 2 teams I don't trust that are high up there.
I would
Yeah.
say throw Orlando in there as well.
Depends. Orlando is still slightly inexperienced. They've only
Right.
played 1 round against a team that's not great in the playoffs
Right.
historically.
Yeah.
So
And then I don't think we can count out Cleveland as well.
right.
Nah, we can count them out.
No,
I'm sorry. We
No.
can't out Cleveland.
no.
Depends.
I'm not
I
counting
need
out
to, I need to see a healthy Donovan Mitchell before
Okay.
I can
Yeah,
even
I'm not
consider
counting out
I'm
Cleveland.
counting them out. First round exits.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I think the Bucks. If the Bucks are healthy, they beat the Pacers last year.
Yes,
That's what I think.
I agree.
I don't know. It's tough.
Because Dame was popping off, but if Giannis is healthy, I think they get.
I think with the
pull it
depth
out.
they got now, they beat them this year.
I
Maybe not
agree.
next
So
year.
conference finals for them.
Even with the depth the Pacers got this year.
They haven't
Yeah.
added much.
Exactly. They still have depth.
Yeah, but they haven't added much.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
But I still think the
I
Pacers.
think they evened their depths out a little.
Pacers'
more now.
depth is better
the
for
Pacers,
sure.
Yeah.
The Pacers' depth is way better.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the Pacers' depth is like top 3 in the
Yeah,
NBA.
Yeah.
easily.
So
Yeah.
that's
But-
why.
And they're getting Benedict Mathurin back.
Yeah.
So that's another player
We'll see.
that's coming back.
So, but essentially that's that. We got 2 other small 1-year deals. Seth Curry's returned to Charlotte on a 1-year deal, so nothing too crazy as far as that goes. I think he's towards the end of his career. He'll probably retire.
Yeah.
in like a
Unfortunate.
year or 2. Yeah, it's just those ankles are cooked, bro.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Runs in the fam.
And Reggie Jackson was just waived by the Charlotte Hornets and will sign a vet minimum in Philadelphia with the 76ers.
Yeah, that's just
So
veteran presence.
that's a hell of a downgrade going from Jokic to Embiid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll back up. To be honest, I think Jared McCain gets back a spot over him.
He's
Right.
not. Jared McCain's a shooting guard.
No, he's point guard.
He's playing shooting
He's
guard.
both.
Yeah.
I would say if you're running second unit, put McCain shooting guard, Reggie point. If Reggie's doing
Remember, they
well.
still got Kyle
Yeah.
Lowry there.
Oof.
That's so
So-
much.
Kyle's definitely running back.
You know what Philly is?
Mark my words.
It's the retirement home featuring Embiid.
Embiid's basically the retirement home at this point. Those knees are cooked.
You know what? Enough of the Embiid slander. Okay, we can get to that when we talk Olympics.
We
okay?
can, yeah. We'll get to that. when
I
we
don't
talk
understand why, like, Lowry and Reggie don't just hang it up. They're taking up roster spots. for
Lowry
guys.
is still decent.
Yeah, they're still both playing good basketball.
And Reggie, I mean, he's still all right.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
good.
I think he was
Lowry,
Lowry,
he was playing decent in the playoffs last year before he got hurt.
Yeah.
We'll see if they're
His style didn't fit the Nuggets system.
if they buy
Yeah.
them out mid-season because they want to put other guys on. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Essentially, or they could get traded. You never know.
Yeah.
So those are the 1 year deals out the way. We have a 2 year deal back in Philly. Kenyon Martin Jr. is returning.
I
He
think
got
that-
traded there in the Harden deal back in November,
Yeah.
whenever that trade was.
I like that.
I haven't seen much of him to really
like
know.
Kenyon
I think
Martin
they have a huge influx of just like guards.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're gonna have
He's
to
more of
move
a forward.
some. He's more of a
He's
forward,
a
but
forward.
he can play the guard
Yeah.
position. There's just almost they have too many guys to like put in one spot. But
I
again,
think
they're not durable.
I think they're definitely saving these guys for injury concerns.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe.
That's what the issue is.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can eventually like free up a lot of cap, or maybe even trade for like a high end role player with some of these contracts.
yeah.
So, and I think what we'd say we're on the same kind of boat with Philly ceiling, top 3, top 2,
top 5. Top 5.
Wait, I have a question. Did Philly pick up any bigs?
They
Drummond.
got Drummond.
Caleb
Okay.
Martin,
All right.
Caleb Martin's not a big.
power forward.
Yes, close
He's
enough.
6'5", bro.
Drummond and Caleb Martin. Those are your
So
pickups.
just Drummond.
Just Drummond.
They're just Drummond.
Okay. So yeah, top 2. I would say top 2.
Healthy top 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if they're all clicking on cylinders, yes.
Yeah, because I think on paper, I think they're better than the Knicks.
Yeah.
I'd
for
put
sure.
them third
On paper.
in
Come
the
on,
East.
bro.
On paper, absolutely.
On paper, look, bro.
Oh,
listen.
on paper, if Embiid's
Yes.
healthy, yes.
Paper, when Embiid's healthy, yeah.
Yes.
Because I think on paper, I can make the argument the Knicks are as low as 5 or 6 in the East.
Oh wow.
It depends how the rankings fall.
Exactly, yeah. It's obviously dependent on health and everything like that.
Yeah.
But second round exit for me with Philly still. I don't trust this team at all in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
I say they do it this year.
you think adding another playoff choker,
I
and Paul
think-
George,
I think
No, they're
I,
gonna-
through?
Look, 2 negatives equals a positive, bro. As you know,
Only if you multiply.
you are. I
I think Embiid gets MVP, but I don't know if they go.
No,
finals.
bro. He's not going
You think he's gonna play 65 games
Yeah, he has to.
after barely able to walk in the
has
Knicks
to.
series and now playing in the Olympics?
He has to.
He's not going to win MVP, but they will go to the finals. I'm not going to say if they win.
Okay.
They will, because look,
Fair.
the Nuggets will win. It's going to be an Embiid Jokic finals.
Imagine that'd be crazy. Wait, so would Embiid play in the Denver games, or would he just only
He
play? in
has
Philly?
to.
Bro, he's going to play and he's going to put
Listen,
up numbers.
listen.
for Jokic.
He has to. He has a spotlight on his back right now, and he needs to get it off of him because he's gonna get a lot of hate from guys in the
Yeah,
in
he's
the
already
season.
getting that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So essentially that's that with Embiid.
Yeah.
Moving into the next deal, the Boston Celtics have re-signed Sam Hauser to a 4-year, $45 million extension.
Sam.
Where is all this money coming from?
They really don't care about what's gonna happen in the future. with
Remember,
the-
they're
with
going to sell the team
Abrams.
in like the next 6 years. So
Yeah.
I mean, Sam was okay in the playoffs, but I don't think he's a $10 million a year player right now.
I think he absolutely is a $10 million a year player.
Yeah.
He was clamping up Luka when he was switched onto him.
Yeah,
but
he's a really
he
he's a
needs
good player.
to improve shooting.
No, what?
No,
he's
what?
a good shooter.
Are you okay?
No,
Wasn't he in the
needs,
top 25
he needs
shooters?
to
Yeah.
improve consistency.
Bro was in the top 25 shooters all time.
I understand that, but
Bro-
he'll have stinker games.
Yeah, but that was in the regular season. He showed
Yeah,
up.
he needs to.
all
He's a
playoffs.
shooter, but he needs more consistency to get 10 mil a year off the bench.
Look, he showed him enough.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
I
showed
know,
him
but
well.
I love Sam Hauser, but
Keep in mind.
Let
too,
me go back to
all-
basketball. reference.
All the good shooters in the league, right? Like Davis Bertans, Joe Harris.
He's worth more than
Duncan
Davis
Robinson.
Bertans. I'll tell you
All
that.
of them got like 18 and up, whereas you got Sam Hauser on a humongous discount.
Right, and he plays defense.
Yeah,
those guys don't.
Sam Hauser and Derek White arguably took at least maybe 15 mil a year less than they should have.
Absolutely.
From the open market, like Detroit could have offered Sam Hauser 4 for 90 easily without
Yeah.
thinking twice.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
So
They would've.
So Sam
Think so?
Sam went up from like he's gone up in points per game every year.
Yeah.
Obviously, his 3-point shooting is immaculate. We know that. But like, I would see games where they would just leave him off the rotation because he was having a stinker.
They're so stacked that he doesn't need to play all the time.
It's the Boston
I
Celtics.
think,
Boston
I think he
Celtics.
has to play. He's a bench guy. He's the top bench
Yeah.
guy behind PP.
Okay.
No.
The top bench guy is one healthy top bench guy is either Derek White or Al Horford, whoever's not starting.
No, White's
So-
gonna start. Horford.
He should. Yeah.
Peyton
Horford.
Pritchard.
Yeah,
Peyton Pritchard too. Yeah.
They both got that
So
money.
they both got it. So I think I think Sam Hauser's a more under the radar piece because we're
Yeah.
past the
He is.
we're past the sharpshooter era. We're past paying them,
Yeah.
so you're not going to get. The market for them is not as big as it was before. You're not going to see a 5-year or a 4-year like
Right.
$100 million contract.
No.
So I think Cam Johnson was kind of the last one to get it. So, but he kind of is more than just a shooter. So that's essentially that. But what do we see ceiling wise for Boston this year?
Champions. Finals.
Even if they don't win, I still think their ceiling is winning it all.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't
Yeah.
discount them anymore.
You
I would
can,
say finals.
especially that they kept all their guys.
Yeah. Finals.
They don't.
Yeah.
They didn't need to add much more. If Porzingis is healthy, they're definitely gonna hit the finals again.
Right.
I
think the real
think Jaylen Brown has a year where he just silences everybody and takes over the number one spot.
I think he did
didn't
that.
He just do that?
I don't
he
know, but
just
he's
do
not
that?
getting respected for it for Team USA
That's
for any other
that's
reason.
just because of off the court reasons. As
Yeah.
for
Bronny hate.
yeah, the Bronny hate, the things he'll say that that people don't agree with and stuff like that. It's a whole
Yeah.
different rabbit hole. That
but I
I'd
think
rather
they're
not
they're,
talk
they're
about.
gonna they're gonna have a nice year.
Yeah, they will be good. So congrats to Sam Hauser.
Yeah.
Moving into the next deal, Evan Mobley has signed a 5-year, $224 million contract, $44 million a year for one of the best up-and-coming defenders in the league.
Yeah.
So this deal, with including incentives and bonuses, if it all gets earned, which it won't, could reach as high as 269.
Wow.
So brother man got paid.
Yeah.
So what do we think?
I think
that's.
Buddy deserves every single
Yeah.
penny. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
I think he's only going to get better from here. He'll have DPOY conversations. He might even win them. He'll get first team all defense a few times, maybe second team.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, we saw in the playoffs how great he was without
Yes.
Jared Allen. So we'll see with Allen back if he can keep up what he
Right.
did in the playoffs. Because
That'll
they're-
be interesting.
Yeah, they're both great rim protectors, but I feel like Mobley's more fit in with the center. I don't know. Maybe they'll rotate Allen in like a sixth man, but it just doesn't seem right.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say he's better at center. I would say he's better with a shooting big.
Yeah.
Because Jared Allen can't shoot outside of like 12 feet.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So I think if you give him like I don't know,
Space.
if you just if the Cavs get like Brook Lopez or something.
Yeah.
Like that will obviously
Yeah.
the spacing will help him out a lot
Yes.
more. But Evan
Give him
Mobley's starting
space.
he's starting to shoot the rock. So
he is a
essentially-
good 3-point stroke.
if
He's okay.
if he can get that 3-point percentage up just to at least to a
Yeah.
respectable number, like let's say like 34%, let's
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Then Jared Allen's got a lot of spacing to work with then instead
Right.
of the reverse.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it could essentially make their life a lot easier. Obviously now with Donovan Mitchell back, not sure what's the future holds with Garland, whether he stays or if they trade him for someone else. But I think this Cavs team is in if they were in the West, it would be a lot worse because the conference is so stacked. But
Yep.
I feel like in the East, outside of Boston, like everyone's kind of close to each other.
They are.
So what that kind of transitioned into the ceiling for Cleveland now that Evan Mobley's locked in for the future. What are we seeing this year?
They're top 5. They could be as high as 3, I feel like.
Ceiling for them is top 6.
Yeah.
Really? You're not a
Yeah.
believer in Cleveland?
definitely not
You
a
don't believe
believe
land.
land. No.
I think they
First round exits as
Yeah.
well.
I'm kind of in between. I say like top 5, maybe top 4.
Yeah.
They could easily get to the second round. I think
Yeah.
you get a healthy Donovan Mitchell, you can maybe convince me to a conference finals, but Mitchell's never made it past the second round either. He's had plenty of good teams to do that with.
They need Strus to be what he was in Miami and Garland to be back to 2021 for him. That's
Yeah.
all they need.
And we'll see if that can happen. But I have my doubts with this team.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And we'll see what Kenny Atkinson can do in his first year in charge. We'll see with that
Yeah.
Nets connection with him, Levert, JA. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens. So congrats to Evan Mobley. Big time contract. So I remember Donovan
him.
Mitchell tweeted, I'm not paying for a single thing again.
Yeah. We love Mobley.
So
I
absolutely.
might draft him this year in our draft. We'll see.
Go for it. All right. Moving into the next contract. This happened actually a few minutes or at least a few hours before we started filming again. Andrew Nembhard has signed a 3-year, $59 million contract to return to the Indiana Pacers. There's been a lot of buzz around Andrew Nembhard, whether the Pacers could afford him again. Even after signing this contract, the Spurs are still interested in trading for him.
Yep.
And all the stuff like that. He got a lot of comparisons last year in the playoffs to Jalen Brunson with Dallas, which I see a lot of. Some people compared him also to SGA in LA. So, look, I think the ceiling could maybe fall in between the two of them. I do think there's a sizable gap between SGA and Brunson. But what do we think of this kind of contract as far as for the Pacers, obviously, and then just for Nembhard himself?
It's good. They needed to bring him back. He filled in very promisingly with TJ when Tyrese went down and played almost every minute.
Yep.
When he's next to Tyrese, he's still that same good player. He can't guard Jalen Brunson, but he needs to improve on that.
Right.
And I'm sure he knows that too, watching back tape. But really good player. I love Nembhard. He's a dog. He plays every minute. He knows how to move the ball around. He had the dagger against us in Game 3.
That shot was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I can't hate on Nembhard. He's a warrior. He's a journeyman, former first-round pick. He got paid. I do think if he goes somewhere else, he'll be a more dominant ball point guard, which I think he wants. But I think he's definitely fine with where he is right now. I think he's definitely comfortable. I don't think he could take over starting point guard role in another team yet. I would say he needs to develop a little more. Better
In terms of what?
Defensively.
Defensively,
he has the shooting. Defensively, to match up against Jalen Garland, he's got to get better defensively.
Jalen Brunson's not a good defender either. So, like, maybe he doesn't need to develop fully on
Yeah,
that
but
end.
he steps up when he needs to.
Right, but, like, I'm saying, like, it's different. Like, with SGA, he's 6'6", 6'7", so he's quite tall. So that's why he's got long arms. That's why he led the league in steals per game. So I think Nembhard just needs to be decent enough to the fact where they can just hide him and he does not get targeted at all. I think outside of
it's hard to hide in NBA.
I think outside of guarding Brunson, I think he did a fine job on anyone else.
Yeah.
So, and the Pacers, I think, just ran out of gas when they played Boston.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to tell from that end. Obviously, he's going to keep developing, but what do you think, Gio?
I haven't watched much Nembhard, but from what I saw in the playoffs, he seems to be like a very good team player, and he can play within the system. He's not one of those guys like James Harden where he is the system.
Yeah.
He can play within the system and put up numbers. So I appreciate a guy like that. I think he can play for any team in the league and be successful under any coach. And, I do think he could have got paid more money.
Yeah.
I think he
He
deserved to get paid more.
Starting money somewhere else probably.
Yeah, but, Pacers are a good organization, good team.
Yeah.
So I see a bright future for him.
Yeah, and I think if he does wind up meeting those expectations of a Brunson or an SGA, this will easily be the best contract in the league.
Oh, yeah.
This will be a steal for wherever he is, whether it's Indy, San Antonio, Cleveland, wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, ceiling for Indiana.
Top 3.
Top 4?
I think
Top 3.
I think top 2.
Okay.
No.
I think they could easily finish
I
top
think
2.
2 to 5 is a toss-up between all those teams.
I'd say they could be in there. Top
I think
2
1 and 2 is locks.
Between for who?
Boston and Sixers.
I don't think Sixers go.
It depends on how. If Philly's healthy, then yes.
Yeah.
But if Philly's not healthy, I think Indiana gets that 2 seed.
Okay.
At least for me. And then playoff wise, what are we thinking?
Conference finals.
Ceiling wise,
Yeah, ceiling.
I don't think finals.
I think they lose in the second round.
Really?
I do.
That's fair. I mean, a lot of people are undervaluing Indiana.
I know.
I've been seeing a lot of rankings. People put them in the play-in, or like
Wow.
6th seed. I'm like,
They're not
like,
playing.
no.
Wow.
They're not playing. When
People-
Tyrese is back healthy, they're going to be just
People
fine.
think they're fool's gold, and
Yeah.
I think they're the second best team in the East, and I do think they'll get to the NBA Finals.
Oh,
I think
wow.
That's their ceiling.
You did predict that.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Because we saw it last year in the playoffs. I think, look, if Tyrese Halliburton doesn't get injured,
Yeah.
I think, and again, Boston choked. They came back from so many deficits. Indiana choked so bad,
Yeah.
but
They
they
just need-
easily could have made the finals, and I do think they would have handled Dallas quite easily.
Yeah, they need to
Wow.
regrade because they didn't get blown out in a gentleman's sweep or a sweep. They didn't get a gentleman's sweep. They didn't win one game, but they kept it close.
Yeah.
They were in blowouts. So if Tyrese is back, you probably say it's a 7 or 6 game series, keeping it close.
I think it's just Rick Carlisle just kind of shoring up those rotations in
Yeah.
kind of the last few minutes. And
Yeah.
speaking of Rick Carlisle, we'll kind of transition over to the coach that he beat in the second round. Tom Thibodeau has signed a 3-year extension with the New York Knicks. That was a really good segue. I got to give myself credit for that. But yeah, 3-year deal. Tom Thibodeau remains at the Garden to play his guys 58 minutes a game. So. Do we think that Tom Thibodeau is the right guy for the Knicks still, or did you think that they should have just let the contract run out and look elsewhere?
No. I think so. He's getting 3 more years on top of, I think, 2.
His contract ends at the end of this next season.
Okay, so he's getting another essentially 4-year deal.
Yeah.
And I think after that he leaves. It's time to hang it up. But right now with the core he has, yes.
Yeah.
I don't think you bring in anybody new, because if you're bringing anybody new, you're learning a whole new system.
I agree.
And everything's working under his system right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody loves him.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
So I think once he's gone, it's somebody new that comes in. Because if you're looking at how the contracts are signed too with New York, after these 4 years, everyone's up again for a contract,
Right.
and you're not bringing everybody back, considering what happens.
That and the core, like the whole core, won't all be there. There's going to be
No.
moves made over the next few
Yeah.
years. So, look, I think none of this will be Tom Thibodeau's fault, because I think this is a Leon Rose problem. I think he clearly bit off more than he can chew at during this offseason. I think, yes, there were good moves made, but I think he relied a little too much on relationships rather than business.
Okay.
And I think there needs to be there's a fine line between it. And I think, yeah, it's good. It's good that you got Brunson on a cheaper deal. He took a pay cut. It's good that you got Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo on cheaper deals before, but you can't give up 6 first-round picks for a role player, and you can't pay an injury-prone guy $40 million.
Well,
so it's kind of
you have to pay OG because of the trade.
Exactly, you have to. But again, at the end of the day, it's almost just like, will the trade be worth it then at the end? Because yeah, you're focused on winning the trade with us, but if all this falls apart and Quickly and Barrett become stars in Toronto, then you're looking at it, the Knicks lose 2 big trades in the span of, 6 months?
Yeah, but I think you're banking on Mikal being an all-star.
But everyone banks on anyone you trade for becoming an all-star.
You have to. And
Exactly,
the
yeah.
upside with him is pretty well, because you're thinking he can be what he was in Phoenix before he got traded. And then, you're banking on the chemistry and him being probably the top scorer with Brunson.
No, he's gonna take the same role in Phoenix.
Yeah.
He'll be the 3-and-D guy.
Yeah.
And we'll see if he can reclaim that defense. But obviously, we've talked about the Knicks several times. We'll save that for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, congrats to Tom Thibodeau. Just please take it easy on your guys.
Yes.
Don't run them into the ground.
No.
Just
we need everybody healthy to make it to the finals.
He's been violating labor laws with these minutes. It's been ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we'll close with ceiling for the Knicks. What we saying?
top 3.
Top 4.
Top 4, I think, is their ceiling, and I think second round.
Yeah.
As far
Second
as
round
playoffs
exits?
goes.
No, conference finals if everybody's
I
healthy.
say conference final.
If everybody's healthy, conference finals.
Again, I think it's very matchup dependent on
Yeah,
with the East.
because
Is
the top
East-
6 teams are all second round
Yeah.
to 6 seeds.
I wouldn't even say that it's like they're close. I just think there are teams in the East that play well in the playoffs, and there's teams in the East that don't. So the Knicks are one of those teams that don't. So if they go up against another team that doesn't, then they have a shot, just like Philly.
Yep.
So I think if it's a Philly Knicks second round, I would give the Knicks the edge. So
Yeah,
yeah, but
it all depends on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
congratulations to everyone that made a fat bag. If you want to donate us $1 to the charity that also is known as my Venmo, let me know. And yeah, any final thoughts on this segment?
No.
Good?
Good.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. All right, into the next segment. This is a bit of a quicker one, I think. Just, kind of to cure some boredom of the NBA offseason as we enter the dog days and the doldrums and the whole 9 yards. NBA expansion. We love NBA expansion. We want this to happen soon. And actually, LeBron James is planning on becoming owner with FSG, Fenway Sports Group, of the Las Vegas NBA team once he retires. It's going to be a $7 billion investment
Wow.
to start that team. Isn't that crazy?
They're going to have
Wow.
everything for the
Oh.
first year.
Yeah.
Huh?
They're going
Yeah.
to have everything.
Everything possible, including Bronny. So
Yes.
So yeah, but this got me thinking, and there's a tweet from Evan Sideri that I want to put on the screen right now. And it's a tweet saying, with the NBA set to discuss potential expansion within the next few months, conference realignment will become a discussion point. Las Vegas and Seattle are the heavy favorites to become the 31st and 32nd team, which means one current team from the Western Conference would move to the East. And the 3 finalists for that are the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, and the Timberwolves, because, they're all on the east side, essentially.
Yep.
So this kind of got me thinking as to, what it would do. And, rather than me move over one team, and just kind of leave it at that. I kind of did just a gigantic conference realignment to make things more geographically correct, to make things a lot easier.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to just I want you guys to give me your thoughts on what I think the conferences should look like with these new teams. So I think this would be like a fun little exercise to do on the pod.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So, which conference would you like me to start with?
Let's go east to west.
East to west?
Yeah.
All right. So starting in the Eastern Conference, we'll just go in alphabetical order as far as the conferences. So we'll start in the Atlantic Division. So in the Atlantic Division, we've made one change. So we have the Boston Celtics, the Brooklyn Nets, the New York Knicks, the Philadelphia 76ers, and we have the Washington Wizards.
I like it.
Yeah.
So the Wizards replace the Raptors in that division.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I think it makes the most sense. The Raptors don't border the Atlantic. They're in.
Nope.
They're just in Canada.
Yep.
Even though DC doesn't border an ocean either, it's right there.
Yep.
It's close, geographically close by. It makes the most sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moving into the Central Division, we have the Chicago Bulls, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Detroit Pistons, the Indiana Pacers, the Milwaukee Bucks, and for the obviously each division's going to have 16. One's going to have 6, and we have the Toronto Raptors joining the Central Division.
Okay.
Yeah, because then the Southwest is the other one.
Yeah.
Not in the Southwest.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Southeast.
Toronto's
Southeast.
closer to
Makes
Central
a
than
lot
it
more
is
sense.
to the Atlantic. So
Yeah. I mean, the Detroit's in Michigan. You can actually take the bridge over to Toronto from Michigan. So
literally
makes the most sense.
Yeah.
That obviously means that I have Minnesota remaining in the Western Conference. I do not have them moving over.
Yeah.
So now it comes down to the Southeast. You could move either one of these teams. So I have the Atlanta Hawks, the Charlotte Hornets, the Memphis Grizzlies is the team I've moved over.
Me too.
They are the farthest team east. The Miami Heat and the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
So that is my Eastern Conference. Those 16 teams, essentially, you bring in Memphis, and then you move over Washington and Toronto to their respective divisions.
Yeah.
I just get general feedback.
Yeah. I have nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
I don't think Toronto goes to the Western Conference at all either.
Oh,
Why
no.
would they?
Yeah.
You're talking about Minnesota, maybe? Oh wait, they're already.
No, Minnesota stays west.
Are you talking about Memphis then?
No, yeah, Toronto, but is in Canada. You could argue east-west.
Yeah, but all the Central Division teams outside
Yeah.
of Cleveland are west of Toronto.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then I think New Orleans stays in the west. They're a west team.
Yeah, I
They
agree.
don't go to east. Memphis is an east team to me.
well, yeah, they're literally they're the furthest west in Tennessee. So I see why they put them in the west, but it makes no sense.
Right.
So
Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah.
perfectly fine.
that is my Eastern Conference. We move on to the West now.
Do it.
Starting in the Northwest Division. I actually don't think there's any changes. There is one change, actually. So we have the Denver Nuggets, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Portland Trailblazers, whatever the Seattle team will be, presumably the Sonics, and the Utah Jazz.
Okay,
So I've moved the OKC Thunder out of the Northwest Division.
I like it. OKC
that's
seems
kind-
to be
that-
more
that's-
southern.
That's kind of a scattered division.
It's the most geographically scattered place
Yeah,
because it's
because
just what it is.
when
It's
you-
just a big space.
It's just
Yeah,
because the
and then-
U.S. and that, just the way the map
Yeah.
is.
and then you're putting Pacific. You don't put Utah in Pacific.
Well, you'll see. Well, no, because Utah
There's a
is
ton of Pacific.
Utah's right next to Denver. They're up in the mountains,
Okay.
northwest. There's easy access.
Okay.
Because I
That's
want
fine.
to
Because then you can make the argument, or Portland can be in Pacific as well.
Well, Seattle
right.
as well. Seattle.
Well, they're northwest though.
Yeah, they're
And I was-
northwest.
And I originally
exactly.
was thinking of putting Sacramento in there, but then like Golden State's right next to them, so it makes no sense
No,
to
yeah,
move,
yeah.
Right.
move them, and I'm not moving both. So
No.
essentially,
Okay.
that's the Northwest, which makes sense. Minnesota's up north.
Yep.
Seattle and Portland, obviously, and then Utah and Denver are right there. There's really nowhere else for them to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because they're not in the Pacific and they're not south enough to be considered that.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
As we transition into the Pacific, we've added one team. So obviously we have all 4 California teams: the Golden State Warriors, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Sacramento Kings. We have the Phoenix Suns as well, and the new Las Vegas team.
Yeah.
They're south enough to essentially be in that side. 'Cause I'm pretty sure before NHL did all the realignment, I think the Golden Knights were in the Pacific Division or whatever the division was called.
No, yeah.
So it makes the most sense as far as that goes.
Yeah.
And then we transition into the Southwest Division. We have the Dallas Mavericks, the Houston Rockets, the New Orleans Pelicans. This is where the Oklahoma City Thunder are,
Yeah.
and the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine
Okay.
because
I
Oklahoma's
like
right
it.
above Texas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It works
I love
perfectly
it.
fine.
The only reason why they're still in the Northwest is because they moved from Seattle and they never
Right.
realigned the divisions. So that's essentially what it was. But can I just get some general feedback on the West?
No, I'm fine with that.
It's good. That's how I would
I don't
construct
think.
it.
Yeah, I don't think you move anything because you have Nevada by the Pacific. You have Seattle is on the coast, but it's the farthest northwest state in the United States.
Continental United States.
Continent.
Because Alaska is the most
Oh,
northwest.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Geography master.
New Orleans is closest to Texas, which is the west,
Yeah.
compared to Nashville and Memphis. Yeah,
Yeah. Memphis and Nashville are nowhere near each other. They're like a 5-hour drive, I think.
but they're both Tennessee.
They're both Tennessee,
Yeah,
But
it works.
are we all also in agreement of which West team would you move over?
Memphis.
You move over Memphis also?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I think it's just too scattered out west. And we saw 2 years ago the Warriors and the Grizzlies played a playoff series, and you're going back and forth between all of it. And we just saw in the Stanley Cup final. I know it's obviously different conferences, but going from Miami to Edmonton is a schlep.
Yes.
Imagine doing that for regular season. Like,
Yep.
you meet them 4 times. It's tough. So, but yeah, essentially, that's that. We'll close this segment, actually. What would you name the Las Vegas and the Seattle team?
Seattle keeps the Sonics.
I would agree with you. I would just say
There's no
I
other
would say
name.
do Sonics, not Supersonics.
Correct.
Just keep it as just return as the Sonics.
But it's would Sonic, the video game character, boycott that name?
No, I don't think so. Because
Like
otherwise
copyrighted?
there would have been issues prior, and there's not.
But that's why you put Supersonics.
Right. Essentially, yeah. But
But you're using different colors for the Sonics. You're using that lime green and dark green combo.
yeah, but again, Sonic's blue, so it's not really,
Correct.
So
Vegas, I think you keep the theme of gambling with the aces.
and do what? Like, because there's
Vegas.
already the Kings already exist,
You should do the Vegas Jokers.
and just
No,
you take Nikola Jokic.
Jokic would.
That would be
No,
funny if
you could
Jokic was there.
But the Las Vegas Jokers or the Las Vegas
Kings. Oh no, you
Kings
can't.
are taken. You have
Queens.
spades or clubs.
Or Queens.
Or
I'm looking up
queen.
the odds
You
right
can't
now to
do
the
queen.
Vegas
you can't
ones.
do it.
Can't do queens.
I'm looking up the odds for it.
You have to keep
Vegas.
the Valkyries or Golden State, which
Yeah.
goes with the Warriors.
Yeah.
But the Aces, it's hard. I mean, the Aces would have been perfect for the men's if the Vegas took the Queens.
You can call them Area 51.
Oh yeah, you could. There was a minor league baseball team, the 51s. It was the old Mets
unless
one.
you take the Golden Knights route and make it the Golden
So here are
Spades.
Here are the
Golden
odds.
Clubs.
Here's just like a random like odd site for the team name for the Vegas team names.
Mm-hmm.
So the most likely one is the Las Vegas Outlaws.
Because of the Wild Wild West.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
But if the Utah hockey team takes it, they're not going to take it.
Yeah.
Right.
The Vipers is another one.
I like it.
I like the Spades.
I said
Spades is
Spades.
cool.
Spades would be cool. The Vultures and the Bandits.
It depends.
So-
No, not the Bandits.
I
It's not like
like
a
the
little league
Spades.
team.
The Spades is because it keeps the
Look, I'm gonna just call a spade, and I think the Spades are a good name. So
yeah.
Depends on the logos and the colorway and all that stuff for me.
they're gonna probably wind up doing like
Black.
because keep in mind the Aces changed to the Raiders kind of color schemes with the black and the gray.
Okay.
So
They're gonna stay with
I'm
that.
curious to see what the A's do if they keep their green and yellow. So, but we'll have to see. So
Well, we know. Well, it could be the Las Vegas Bronnies because once LeBron leaves, the Lakers are buying out Bronny.
actually, it wouldn't surprise me if LeBron makes the Kings change their name and they go with the Kings.
Yo, that'd be so-
That'd be so funny,
the
bro.
Kings just brought back their old colorway and the old logo for the hockey team.
So,
But you
we'll have to
can't
see.
change that.
No, they're not going to change.
They can't.
But
That team is too good.
that's essentially that with expansion. Let us know down in the comments what you think the divisions and the team should look like. And any final thoughts, lads?
Spades.
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 All right, let's move on. All right, into the next segment. We're in our, I think, penultimate segment. It's our last, current topic before we get into shower thoughts. We're going to kind of lump these together. We got the NBA Summer League and the Olympics. So we'll start with Summer League because it just ended, obviously. We saw the Miami Heat take down the Memphis Grizzlies to win the NBA Summer League title. So congrats to them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think the players get rings too. So
Yeah,
it's
so
kinda cool.
That's pretty cool.
Jaime Jaquez has a ring because he played one game.
Yep. I think it's also the 20th anniversary of the Summer League, if I'm not mistaken.
Interesting.
Okay.
So pretty cool.
Who was in that first class of summer league players?
2004 draft class, so the year after Bronald.
Braun.
The
Okay,
year
that's
after.
pretty
Oh, maybe
cool.
Braun. They brought.
I think Braun was in the summer league.
No.
I don't think he played.
I think he was. No.
I don't, because I think I remember him saying on one of his interviews that he wishes he played in summer league or he played in.
Really?
Let me look.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure he
look that
didn't play
up.
in summer league,
I
but
thought I saw highlights of him in the summer league, but I could be wrong. Or
However-
maybe he played the year after.
yeah, I think he played the year after. But speaking of Braun,
Yeah.
Bronny made his first 3 in summer league.
I'm telling you.
Wait,
He's
say it
the
again.
GOAT.
Bronny made his first 3
Oh yes.
in summer league.
Yes, yes.
He's the GOAT, man.
Okay.
Listen, he wasn't that bad.
No, he's played well the past couple games.
The first like 4 games were atrociously bad.
Yeah.
LeBron
The
did
last
play in
3
the
were
summer league.
He
decent.
did. Okay.
He did. He
But-
played with Cleveland.
The last few games were good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I still don't think Bronny's going to be this like ultra star. Like,
Oh, no.
He's going to be in
No.
the G League
Nobody
He'll be in
thinks
G
that.
League.
for eternity.
I
Yeah.
don't think he'll be in G League.
No, he will.
I don't think so.
He for sure will spend a lot of time this year in the G
He's
League.
got
He
to.
will.
He's got to develop there.
But what I'm saying, like, he's not going to stay in the G League.
No.
Oh, no.
I think
I'm talking
eventually-
about this year.
Okay.
This
No,
year
he
he's
won't
going to
stay
be
in the G
for
League.
at least like 90% of the
Yeah,
time.
he
Right,
won't stay in
right.
the G League.
He'll play opening day to get his minutes with Braun, and then he'll probably go down to the G League forever,
Yeah.
essentially.
Not
so
forever, but
yeah, but there was one thing about summer league that I'm very perplexed about. That I'm just so confused because my guy Jalen Wilson wins summer league MVP, and he's not on first team.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know who does the voting.
It's,
For summer
I think
league.
they just pick
I think
a
the
bunch
reporters?
of reporters that are there. It's just a group of them. How does that happen? That has to be one of the biggest bag fumbles I've ever seen.
First team was GG,
I'll pull it up for you right now, actually, and I'll tell you who we got.
Reed Shepard, Khalil Ware. I'm missing 2 people.
Jordan Miller.
Jordan Miller, yes.
Yeah.
And who's the last?
So first team NBA Summer League, we got, wait for it to load because the connection is bad. All right, so NBA Summer League first team, Gigi Jackson, Jordan Miller, Scottie Pippen Jr., Reed
Yeah.
Shepard, and Khalil Ware.
He should have replaced Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie was good.
Scottie
but Sag-
Pippen arguably could have been MVP. I
Yes.
probably would have taken out, you could have taken out either
Reed Shepard only
or-
played 2 games.
Yeah, you could have taken out Reed Shepard. I
Yeah.
think that would have been
Exactly.
smarter. As for second team, which I'll pull up right now, that was the one thing I forgot to pull up before we started filming. That's my fault, guys.
No.
Reed Shepard is just so good, though.
He
He
really
is.
is.
I love
And then
Reed.
second team, we have
Jalen Wilson.
Jalen. Wait, where's second team? Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Here we go. I got it. So second team was that's 2023. Here he is. Second team was Jalen Wilson, Jarris Walker, Jaime Jaquez, Donovan Clingan, and Bub Carrington.
Uh-huh.
What happened?
I have breaking news.
Oh,
What's up?
NBA has reviewed TNT's offer and will not be proceeding with it.
I kind of figured. So last night I saw that the NBA preferred Amazon's offer.
Wow.
NBA has released a statement from Tim Reynolds saying Warner Brothers Discovery's most recent proposal did not match the terms of Amazon Prime's video offer, and therefore we have entered into long-term arrangement with Amazon.
That's tough.
My understanding of that is potentially TNT's essentially it's a national, mostly free network on most providers. Amazon, you need to pay for Prime,
Yeah.
whether you're, and I guess the NBA gets a higher royalty or a higher cut or percentage on each Prime membership now. Anything NBA related, or I guess anytime they watch a game on Amazon Prime, then maybe they'll get a higher cutback. But yeah,
Yep, just now.
yeah, I
It did
think-
not match. It's not. There's no specifications. They're just saying it didn't match.
Yeah.
Tough.
So it's tough. Unfortunately, TNT had the opportunity to fork up more money about a month ago, and they didn't. So at the end of the day, I can't feel bad anymore because they kind of did this to themselves.
Yeah.
It just sucks that the NBA is taking this away from us.
Yeah, so it's the last season.
very
so,
sad. Whoever plays in that
officially.
Eastern Conference Finals is going to be the last ever game on TNT for now, at least for the
Yeah.
next 11 years.
I think the big thing probably with this is just like the subscribing money they're gonna get.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
Absolutely.
going into Prime.
Big time.
You're
big time
starting to
commission.
see the end of just cable.
Yeah, that's why
Essentially.
TNT, unless TNT starts their own service. but they don't
Which
have
they
a
won't.
lot to really incorporate.
It's hard to compete nowadays because, right, you got like Disney Plus, you got Netflix, Hulu,
Netflix,
even like Showtime and stuff.
Netflix is going to be the host for the Jake Paul fight,
That's insane.
which is so weird with Mike
That is so
Tyson.
weird.
But they have the Christmas games this year for NFL.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Netflix, right? We talked about that.
Netflix has the Christmas games for NFL this year,
that is true.
which is really weird.
But yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Rip TNT.
That's kind of shocking that they reviewed that pretty quickly.
I'm not surprised. They've already moved forward. They've already had like schedules for like which days are going to be on what networks. They didn't want anything to kind of monkey wrench their plan.
Yeah. So here the rest of the statement reads: throughout these negotiations, our primary objective has been to maximize the reach and accessibility of our games for our fans. Our new arrangement with Amazon supports this goal by complementing the broadcast, cable, and streaming service packages that are already part of our new Disney and NBC Universal arrangements. All three partners have also committed substantial resources to promote the league and enhance the fan experience. We are grateful to Turner Sports for its award-winning coverage of the NBA and look forward to another season of the NBA on TNT.
Yep.
That's the rest of the statement.
Unfortunate. Sucks. So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, essentially, it's a good run. 24 years? Something
Yep.
like that. So, we'll be 25 this year. So,
Yeah.
It's going to be the quarter century.
yep.
That's where it'll end.
We'll see what happens in 2035, 2036, if they decide to get themselves back involved. But
Right.
back to Summer League talk. So
Yes.
obviously, as aforementioned previously, second team, I'll just say it again. It was Jalen Wilson, Jarris Walker, Jaime Jaquez, Donovan Clingan, and Bub Carrington. So,
Bub Carrington, I'm fine with. Jaime Jaquez only played one game.
yeah, but it's just Jaime
Really?
Jaquez, yeah. He played
Yeah, he played.
What did he do that one game?
He had like 29 points.
Yeah, it was good.
Brandon Miller played the first game and sat out the rest of this, and had 25 and sat out.
Yeah,
Right.
it is what it is, essentially. The Summer League Awards
They could have
are-
given Jaquez spot to Dwayne Washington Jr.
They could have, or they
He had-
could have
he
given
had
it to
a good-
Julian Strother.
Or he played 2 games, but Washington played.
Who was that guy that had the most insane dunk I ever seen?
Oh, Alondas Williams.
Alondas
He
Williams.
like cocked
Yes.
it all the way back.
It was
That
nuts.
was for
somebody's
Miami.
head.
Yeah.
He was on
That
Miami.
was insane. Miami has some guys, man.
They do.
Hello, where was their best player?
They have
First round
some
draft
guys.
pick.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Summer League was fun this year. It was a lot better than last year because last year was just about Wemby, and that's
Right.
kind of it. Even
Yeah,
though the
this
draft class was
year-
good. This year, I think, was a better Summer League than last year.
Yeah, overall, for sure.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Alex Sarr having the worst
Oof.
Oh God, yeah.
rating in summer league this year?
He was ass. He was, I think, the first ever top 5 pick to go 0 of 15 in a Summer League game. That's
Wow.
horrid.
There was a tweet. There's a stat that they were reading
right.
off of that was, I don't know what it means, but
Bub Carrington carried that man.
Yes.
His back is hurting.
Bub is. I love Bub because he has my name, not my name, but he goes with the name that I. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that was a word fumble right there.
But,
Your middle name,
No,
Anthony
but,
Bub Cavino. No.
Bub-
no, just what
You
I
call
call
him
when
a
I
bum?
say "What's up, Bub."
Anthony Bum
where
Cavino is
is-
crazy. But
I'll find the Alex Sarr stat.
yeah,
Right.
Gio, you're just reflecting thoughts on Summer League. I know you didn't watch too much, but I need to take away from it.
Oh, I found it, but go ahead.
Yeah, just entertaining. Like I've said before, you got some guys that are just fighting for spots on the roster, so they're going all out. But at the same time, yeah, they're fighting for spots on the roster, so they're not going to pass the ball. So you're not seeing
Right.
great team play, but it's still, it's entertaining.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll close it off with this tweet.
Yeah, but also I guess I'll give props to Landry Fields for maybe seeing this coming and maybe went with Reese Aucher instead. Landry Fields sees talent.
I mean, it's
forget.
Bro,
really
it's
down.
the summer league, bro.
It's really down to Alex Sarr's agent because he didn't want him to go to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So
He was 9 of 47 from the field. Didn't even make the double digits.
that's awesome.
He had a 22.6% TS
True shooting percentage.
and then a 3.8 PER, which that PER mark is the worst of any first rounder at Summer League.
Yeah.
Wow.
ER's player efficiency rating. Remember, Jaylen Brown was piss poor in his first Summer League.
Yeah.
So the ceiling is high.
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be good. He'll be in the Rookie of the Year conversation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that later on in the summer.
Yeah.
As we transition to or at least in the fall, as we transition to the start of the 24-25 season.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me personally, it just felt good to actually watch the Summer League with a purpose this year. Not only just because we're doing obviously the podcast now, but now that I know the direction the Nets are going in, it's
Yeah.
actually enjoyable to watch them play, and they actually played really well. So I think our future's bright.
Next year we're going to be at Summer League. That's going to be a sight to see
right.
because the top 3-4 picks are all going to be generational talents.
And
in
they
their
could,
positions.
and one of those 3 could wind up in the black and white.
That's pretty exciting.
Bro, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm praying.
I'm also because, so if we're talking Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, Nolan Traore,
And VJ.
and
I can't pronounce his last name.
VJ
Edgecombe,
Edgecombe,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then also Nikola Topic next year when he comes back.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get summer league minutes.
Deron Holmes.
Deron Holmes as well.
He'll come back as well.
Also, some guys that got
You'll see a bunch of the rookies come back next
some
year.
guys this year that got.
You might
so-
even still see Reese Hache next year.
Yes,
Summer
you're
League.
gonna
Right.
have to.
Okay.
And then on top of the top 5 guys this year, and there's another guy, Hugo Gonzalez, is a top guy with Traore for next year.
Yeah.
But it'll be a
Traore's
fun
gonna be
summer
good.
league.
Yeah, it'll be good. So, yeah, if we do go to Summer League next year, which we're planning on doing so, we'll try and make that a yearly thing as we
That's
kind of
gonna
progress
be-
this podcast. So
Yeah.
we'll meet a bunch of people while we're there. We'll see if we can get some people on for interviews, even if we just interview them on the spot right there.
Oh, for sure.
That'll be dope.
I'm so down for that.
So,
Also, I didn't know this. So this is a thing. So when I was watching we'll include summer league, but Sean Marks has a camp at the summer league every year, and it's like a week-long thing. So he was talking about it on the Knicks game at the last game of the season. They had him on, and I forgot. I think it's sports business camp, but they have like students that do the work that we do, but would be like more writing and sit at the games and then report back. They kind of teach them how the NBA front office works.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's a free thing. You just have to sign up. There's a link. I'll send it to you guys
Okay.
for next
Yeah.
year.
Sure.
that could be cool.
But I don't know. I think it's the whole weekly thing, but you're not there the entire day. You
No,
go watch
yeah.
the games, of course. But you're
just
there
kinda float
you're
around.
there in the morning for classes because the games start in the afternoon.
Okay.
But I'll send you a link. It's a fun thing. I
Yeah,
don't
for
think there was
sure.
any money, but Sean Marks and they have guests. CP the franchise was on this year from
Yeah.
Knicks Fan TV.
Yeah.
Other guys were on as well. Other players, former players.
Send that link.
But
bro.
I'll send a link for
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
Nice. So, yeah, that could be something cool.
Yeah.
Cool to meet Sean.
We'll meet a
Marks.
lot of
Yeah.
people.
That man is definitely. My perception of that man has changed drastically over the past month.
Yeah,
So,
he's the front office
crazy.
insider. He's been there.
Yeah.
Obviously, he has his brother with the Nets, so he has the voice from him probably a little bit.
He's from the RC Buford Spurgeon culture, so that's why. But essentially, yeah, Summer League I think was a big success this year. We'll see what happens next year with the generational draft class, and yeah. So now we transition over to the Olympics. The Olympics start today. I think the ceremony's tomorrow.
No, it is the 26th. It's in the morning because don't
Oh,
forget,
okay, yeah, I
France is
forgot,
ahead.
yeah.
You're right.
France is
So-
ahead on time.
Yeah, but we saw a bunch more showcase games over the past few days, and I'll kind of just throw it over to you guys. Any games stand out? I know we saw U.S. versus Serbia, we saw Serbia versus Greece, we saw
South Sudan, USA.
South Sudan versus the
and
U.S.
Yesterday was Germany.
Germany versus the U.S.
We were talking about it before you got here, but I said USA is a little worrying.
I'm not worried.
I'm not worried in the sense that, remember, this is just the showcase. They're not playing their normal rotations, so they're just playing guys wherever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
So
But I was saying that the best player on USA's team is still LeBron.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
will be for
until you retire.
until he retires.
until he retires, yeah.
But yeah, South Sudan looks pretty good. Germany looks good. USA looks good, of course. Katie
most
should
teams
be
look
back.
He's not playing in the first game.
That's what. Well, I think second or third.
Yeah, he might come back to those.
But I was watching the Pat McAfee show yesterday, and they had Austin Rivers on in his car, FaceTiming. But he was bringing up the Lakers because the two best players on Team USA right now are LeBron and AD, and how the Lakers are going to be somewhat good because of this. But I was
Right.
telling Gio that USA basketball and Laker basketball are two different things.
Also, the fact that if you look at the surrounding cast around LeBron and AD on Team USA, and you look at the surrounding cast on the Lakers are the only, or I think, or one of the only
three.
teams to not sign anyone. And Kendrick Perkins had the balls on national television to say that they would beat the Nuggets and the Thunder in the playoff series.
Who are the other two?
The Memphis Grizzlies is one of them, and I don't remember who the last one is.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter.
Raptors.
The Raptors, yeah, they're probably going to make some trades. I know the Lakers
They
are
haven't
interested in
signed
Bruce Brown,
anybody.
but look, I think the one player that I really want to talk about is Carlick Jones. He was the point guard from South Sudan that had a triple double
Yeah.
in 3.5 quarters, and
Who does he play for?
South Sudan. I literally just
No,
said South
no.
Sudan. He's
Club team.
he's not in the league.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's the beauty about like these international competitions. You're going to get a lot of guys just
That you
we
never
don't
heard of.
know of, or I think he was in the NBA previously.
I
But-
just saw the Duke freshman made the South Sudan team. The big guy.
Yeah.
Good prospect. I forgot what his name is. Kamam or something.
Something like that, yeah.
I can look it up.
But yeah, outside of the U.S., it's like pretty wide open. Like I know Zach Edey can play for Canada because they don't have the depth of NBA players. Like a lot of these benches on like Canada or on Australia or Serbia, there are a lot of EuroLeague guys, a lot of just overseas guys. Whereas Team USA's bench is Hall of Famers and All Stars, and you're just like, it would be a miracle for another team to get the gold medal, essentially speaking.
Yeah,
And
it would be.
Yeah,
Very possible because
so
it's just one game.
the
it's not serious.
Duke 5-star Kaman Maluwak
Yeah.
is his name. He's playing for Duke this year.
Yeah.
Is Luol Deng the head coach?
I don't know. I don't think so.
He's
But-
involved somehow.
Yeah, he's involved somehow. I don't know if
head
he's the
coach.
coach, though. But yeah, to me, I think the biggest takeaways from the past week was that U.S. South Sudan game, the U.S. Germany game, and the U.S. Serbia game. I think
Okay.
those three games in specific kind of stood out the most to me.
Yeah.
In
What
the
about those
sense
games?
that-
Yeah.
Well, obviously, South Sudan, I think, is obviously a smaller country. They're the youngest like country in the world.
Yeah.
They were just formed in like 2012. I mean, yeah, they also have, I think, South Sudan, I think, has the tallest people like average as far as average height.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do have a tall team.
They are humongous. And there's like, I think there's this, I remember Prince was telling me about this. There's like this tribe, they're called the Dinka tribe, and they're all like 7'2",
That's
7'3". Yeah, they're insane.
insane.
There's a video actually from Drew Binsky. I'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
That y'all should definitely go check out. Those people are ginormous. And
It's
they're all basketball players. They're all hoopers, man.
No, not necessarily. Wenyan Gabriel.
Yeah,
Yes,
play for the
he's
Nets.
on-
He was
He's on the team.
postseason. He was talking about. I mean, not postseason. Post game, he was interviewed talking about how there's 7-footers in South Sudan and they're just carrying crops on their
Yeah.
shoulder. So that height, like 7-footers,
Yeah.
7'2", whatever it is, they're just carrying crops to the next location. They're not
Crops or
playing
water
basketball
or anything. But they all
Whatever.
can hoop, is what I'm saying.
Can they?
And track
I
and
think
field
they
and
can,
track
yeah.
and field stars.
Yeah, they're
can rap.
athletes. They're good.
Yeah.
So, and Wenyan Gabriel, Nets legend, Wenyan Gabriel,
Yes.
signed a 10-day contract with us. Legend.
He's a good player, actually. I
He
like
is,
him.
yeah.
He played on the Lakers. He's very decent.
He did, yeah. So, but yeah, essentially that was those guys can play, man. They can hang with the big boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, in my opinion, right, the best game we're going to see in this entire Olympics is going to be Serbia versus South Sudan.
Really?
I think they have the two best chemistries out of all the teams.
Interesting. Wow.
So yeah, I think they play team basketball.
They do.
That
They're
kinda-
both smart.
Yeah, and that kind of transitions me into U.S. versus Serbia. Up until midway through the second, I mean, Serbia was hanging with the U.S.
Yeah, they were
I think,
hanging around.
and they didn't have Bogdanovich playing.
Yes.
Right.
So
Yes.
Serbia's good, man. I don't know.
good, man. I'm telling
good.
you, you put Jokic on any roster, you have a chance.
Yeah. And you can't discount how good the Euro hoopers
Bro,
are
if
too.
he just made that layup when he cooked Embiid, that would have been all over social media.
Yeah.
That would have been fire. He literally did like a spin move and Embiid just got lost.
They're going back and forth, though.
They were. Yeah, I just think it would be hilarious if
Yeah.
the 1 year U.S. does not get gold is with Embiid.
Oh, that would be so bad.
Oh, that would be the first
Bro.
thing that happens. They would just talk about that.
Yeah, they would.
What do you
But-
think is worth more for Jokic? An NBA championship or an Olympic gold medal?
I think for any
Olympic gold
athletes,
medal.
an Olympic
Wow,
gold
really?
medal.
Yeah, I
Are
think
you sure?
any
That's
athlete
one.
would
That's
choose a gold
once
medal.
every 4 years.
An Olympics is something like you get to represent your country
Right.
Yeah.
on the biggest world. It's a world stage.
Right.
So this is where you actually get to say you're world champions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also
Okay.
like if you're an NBA player, I think you're more happy saying, "Oh, I won an Olympic gold medal."
Really?
Also-
it's every
I don't
4
know,
years.
man.
Well, it depends. I think
It's a lot harder to win an NBA championship.
winning an Olympic gold for the U.S. does not mean as much as winning an Olympic gold for Serbia.
True.
Exactly.
So
Good point. Good point.
it makes a lot of sense there. And then what was the other game I said? Oh, U.S. Germany. We just saw that.
That was a really close game.
I told you Germany was good. You doubted
Germany's
me.
good. I'm still doubting them.
You doubted me.
They're not going to beat the U.S. They'll compete with the other teams. Australia is also pretty good.
Yep.
There's going to be some good competitions between Australia,
Josh
Germany,
Giddey's gonna go
Serbia,
Okay.
Sudan. Yeah,
Josh is
Giddey,
going to go off.
Yep.
my guy.
Olympic Patty
Oh, his
Mills.
guy.
Olympic Patty Mills is
Yeah.
going to be.
And Joe Ingles' dad bod's going to go
No,
off.
since the U.S. game, he's been dropping like 30 points a game. It's been
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, Patty.
Patty Mills has been unreal.
And Jock Landau, who I would love
Yeah.
the Knicks to get for backup center.
He's
Yep.
he's locked under contract with Houston.
I know.
He ain't going
but
anywhere.
but they have
He's also still not going to move the needle.
They have Steven Adams and they have
Steven
Alperen
Adams.
Şengün.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the
No,
international
Rockets
team.
have
Yeah.
3 caliber centers. They don't need one. They can give us one. Give us one.
You have to give up a
I
lot.
was seeing that.
You have to give up a lot to get him.
I wouldn't mind Steven Adams, but he's we miss Steven. We miss
Those
Steven
knees
Adams.
are cooked.
No, he'll be back with Houston.
Yeah, but those knees are cooked.
And I'll take
Those
Jock
dudes are definitely
Landau.
cooked.
And I'll take Jock
But
Landau.
man, the young Steven Adams was jumping out the gym and he was a tank.
Remember when he like barely threw that like full court shot?
Yeah.
remember
He was
him with a clean face and short hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he
Remember
looks
those
like a
days.
caveman.
And then he had
Oh, he's
like, the
Aquaman.
mustache.
He's Yes, he is.
Aquaman, yeah.
I love Steven Adams.
But yeah, any takeaways from you guys from the Olympic showcases? Any like players, any matchups, anything?
I gotta watch more of the games
Yeah.
come Olympic time, of course. But I didn't watch a lot exhibition. But I saw what happened.
Yeah, you definitely should be watching. We should be watching all of them mostly.
Yeah, we
the
will.
only thing that would worry me about Team USA is the team ball. It looks like there's like a lot of ISO ball going on, and I mean you expect that because when players don't know how their teammates are play, they don't have chemistry. They're gonna resort to that. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing. They just have to play more together. So we'll see.
We'll see. I think that's really going to come down to that. Whose ego is going to get in the way?
Yeah, the thing with Team USA is that everybody wants the ball in their hands.
Yeah.
But you got to realize it's not NBA.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. Edwards said it's his team.
No.
Not even close.
He did say that though.
Right.
But,
but-
so look,
it's
but
LeBron's
listen to
team.
my point though. Edwards did say it was his team, but it's clearly LeBron's team.
It'll be his team
so,
in 4 years.
Okay, let me finish my point. It's clearly LeBron's team.
Yes.
So what do you think how do you think Edwards feels about that?
I think he should feel perfectly okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He shouldn't feel any type of way.
He just talks his talk. It's not.
I'm nothing
gonna
wrong with
affect
him. It'll be his team in 4 years.
It still won't.
Who's going to
It
take
still won't.
LeBron's?
Steph. Steph's still going to be playing and still going to be.
It's not gonna be Steph's team.
It still will because it's Steph. Remember, it's not about who's currently playing the best. It's just about who's the face of the team.
Okay.
And if it's honestly by that point, it'll probably be Tatum or Browns.
It might be Edwards, man. He's on the rise.
He's on the rise, but I think everyone's setting unfair expectations on him, and I don't think he's going to meet those unfair expectations.
I think he will.
Like he's not going to be the next Jordan.
Eh,
We're not saying
Give it
that.
some time.
But that's what everyone's
Yes.
saying. Everyone's saying, "Oh, it's Jordan-esque."
That's
Jordan
exaggeration.
this, Jordan that."
Exaggeration. But
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
think he will.
high on Ant, but I'm not as high on Ant as I am on everyone else. Like he's not going to
Okay.
be like best in the world good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of my takeaway from it. So,
That's fair.
but any final thoughts on the Olympics?
No. Team USA.
Yeah, USA for gold.
Do you want to
hurt.
predict? Do you want to predict our gold, silver, bronze?
Want to do it now, or we have to kind of do it now, right?
Yeah.
It starts
So-
this weekend. Yeah, gold, silver, bronze. What do we got?
Go first.
Stand on these predictions, okay? Stand on these predictions.
It's gonna have to be USA gold.
Okay.
I think silver. It's a toss up between France, Germany, and Serbia.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'll put silver, France, bronze, Serbia,
Okay. Who is Serbia beating in the bronze medal?
Germany.
Okay.
Okay.
USA's winning gold.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Embiid's going to win something. Silver medal, I'm going to go Germany.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Serbia over either. I'm going to go Serbia over either Australia or Canada in the bronze medal game. I think France gets bounced early.
I don't know.
Okay. I'm going USA gold.
Yep.
I'm going Australia bronze.
Oh, okay.
And I'll go Serbia silver.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
Nice.
discounting France and
And Germany.
Germany
Yeah.
and Canada. Wait, we're forgetting about Canada. No,
I'm not.
I don't think Canada.
Canada's
goes
good,
far.
but like I don't know. They
No.
they look really good on paper, but like
Yeah.
on the court they leave a lot to be desired.
I think
Yeah.
France will execute really well.
I
We'll
don't
have to
think
see.
so.
I'll have to see.
I don't think they have enough guards.
Evan
decent
Fournier
guards.
is playing minutes, like actual minutes.
Yeah,
so like
so it's scary.
Yeah,
we'll have to see. So
that's a good top three either way.
Good
I think
top
it goes
three.
either way. But we're all unanimous with
we have
USA getting gold.
Yeah.
we have to back the United States of America. It's on my
Yeah.
shirt right now. We have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
If we were to choose another gold besides USA,
I'll be rooting for Serbia if
Yeah.
the U.S. is out. So
Who would I
probably
root
them.
for? I root for South
I
Sudan.
would love to see South Sudan.
Oh, that'd be
get
great.
gold.
I
That
would
be
definitely root for them.
amazing.
that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I would say, Serbia
Yeah.
for gold. Otherwise, okay.
All right. Well, Let's move on. All right, into the final segment. It's time for shower thoughts.
Let's
the
go.
Segment where
Sorry.
as you're good. The segment where we use our brains and we stump each other with very deep, very difficult questions. So, last week we talked about NBA media ruining the NBA. If you want to go check that out, links to the last episode are in the description on both YouTube and Spotify. So this week it's Antoine's turn to come up with a question. So Antoine, let's not waste any time. Let's just hear what you got for us for this
Jump
week.
right into it.
Go for it.
Like you're going to jump in that ice bath once we hit 2K.
Yes, sir.
Okay, relax. Draft in progress.
Okay.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. I think I have a little bit of a simple question, just because I feel like we've done a lot of the juicy ones already.
Okay.
But I think this is pretty notable. I want to transition it into this would potentially work in the NBA, and if it did, what would you use it for? But since I guess baseball is going to be testing robot umpires as soon as next year, I don't know if it's possible to have robot referees in basketball. But if we were to use any type of robot technology that's based on just AI or just something robotical in the NBA, whether it's to call fouls, whether it's to decide on maybe deciding on if a player's foot is behind the 3-point line, at an accurate angle, if it's on the line, for example, the KD shot from, I guess, that Milwaukee Bucks, but his foot was on the line. But if it's as close as that, if we're calling fouls, if we're calling goaltendings, if it's really a goaltend, what area of the NBA game would you incorporate any type of robotical decision-making regarding calls? And if you don't want to include robotical decisioning in the NBA, then just say you don't want any of it.
Yeah.
But if you were to put it in, what would you use it for exactly?
I'll start. I'll say I wouldn't include any robotic AI or anything like that having to do with a referee's job. I love the human aspect of just of life. I feel like it would take away from the humanness of basketball if you insert robots to do a referee's job. I don't know.
So then you don't agree with, I guess, MLB incorporating robot umpires for the strike zone? Or is that a different type of problem than the NBA?
I think it's a little different.
Umpires call strikes that are out of the strike zone and call balls that are inside the strike zone.
I think it's a little different. I think refereeing in a basketball game is more gray. There's more gray area. But when it comes to baseball, it's black or white. It's over the plate or it's not. You know what I mean? Okay. And so when it comes to the NBA, there's more so a gray area because certain games get called a certain way. Do you know what I mean? For baseball, you call it how it is every single time. But I think the human aspect of refereeing should absolutely stay in the NBA. But just to counter that position, I think, I've heard many stories of how dangerous it is to referee in other countries other than the U.S. If one person makes a bad call, if one referee makes a really bad call, that person's life could be on the line. Yeah. I've heard Fetty's told me stories about Egyptian soccer tournaments or soccer games where referees were literally sniped at. I'm telling you, actually sniped, tracked down and sniped and killed after the game when they made a mistake on a call. So refereeing is definitely, it's dangerous. So when it comes to that, I could see why you would want to have perfection, because then you're not going to get fans upset. You're not going to have people lose money on bets that they made because a referee made a stupid call. You know what I'm saying? So that's understandable, but still, I just like the human aspect of the game, and humans tend to make mistakes, and it's okay. We'll live with that. So,
okay.
Tyler, what do you think?
Good answer. We actually have agreement this week. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. The NBA is just so tough to kind of have a robot kind of do things because, like I said, there is a human aspect to things. In the playoffs, for example, a lot of things are physical, and if there's an AI, they'll instantly call those fouls. And the system could easily be, messed with by certain teams, and it could lead to like a bunch of scandals and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So I do agree in the sense that the human aspect is needed as far as that goes. In baseball, it's like I'd rather just honestly just have a strike zone. Just have like if it hits the zone, then
like have it behind like the catcher,
essentially,
or just like the wiffle ball guys have.
Yeah.
Oh, like that?
Yeah, when it
that's
hit,
one way to know.
But it would be different for like every player,
right,
because
exactly.
each person's
different
height.
Unless you just have a universal strike zone, that would be the only option as far as that goes.
No,
but,
the strike zone. If you're using Aaron Judge, the strike zone is the strike.
No, that's false.
well, that's why there's a human aspect to it.
That's the human aspect to it.
aspect. The zone's different.
Correct.
No, I always thought it was if you're taller, your strike zone's bigger. If you're smaller, your strike zone's smaller. That's how it is.
It is, but not.
It is,
not
but
to an
It's
AI.
always from the bro. I played baseball growing up. It's always from the elbow to the knees.
That's always the problem with Judge, because since he's 6'7", and they call strike at his knees, which is really far from him, but it's a strike zone on a regular size guy.
Exactly.
But I understand your point. Like, it shouldn't be called a strike on Judge because he's 6'7" and it's at his knees, which is
No, and the knees has always been a strike. It's below the knees.
Yeah.
but
That's when
Essentially.
Yeah.
But as far as the NBA goes, look, I mean, there's so many technological advancements going on every now and then. I'd rather put the technology to actual use, like get smarter with like analytics when it comes to like, players' performances and physical fitness and stuff like that. You're seeing it now, Steve Ballmer with arenas. I mean, Into a Dome is just stupidly advanced. Like, it's just more to kind of like unpack than anything we've ever seen. We saw in the All-Star game this past year, we saw, they have like a smart court that can change colors and everything like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're seeing like all this stuff when it comes to like technology. And I think for me, it's like, I don't think when it comes to like impacting a live game like that, it needs to be humans doing it. Because at the end of the day, the humans are the ones playing, and the humans should be the ones officiating.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be any sort of artificial intelligence that, that isn't. It's still not mastered yet. AI is just starting to come onto the scene now. There's still a lot of flaws, but I mean, there could be a universe where AI becomes, I guess, part of it.
Right.
But I just don't know. I don't feel like there's a place for it currently in this league as far as refereeing goes.
Oh yeah.
Because that could lead to a whole other world of problems.
Like what?
Like, just like with when it comes to VAR in soccer, like the system is so flawed because the people that run it are so biased.
Interesting.
That you just want to get rid of the whole thing. So I think AI sounds cool in theory, but in practice, it just sounds like a total mess.
I agree. I think even if we have AI incorporated into the NBA somehow, some way, there's always going to be a level of corruption, whether there's humans refereeing the game or if there's AI. Because guess what? Who's programming the AI? Humans.
Exactly.
Right. So there's going to be, and who can hack? People can hack, get into these different, computer systems, or whatever. So there's always going to be a level of corruption. So perfection, I don't think it will ever be a possibility when it comes to refereeing, ever.
I agree with you in that sense because, like I said, it's a really tough job, right?
Yeah.
You got like, in intense games, whether it's in the regular season or the playoffs, it's hard to, you're impacting the game. You're deciding who wins essentially.
Right.
If that's the case, but it's better for them not to get involved, So it's tough, but I think it needs to stay human.
Can you imagine techs with AI or robot referees? Like, do you think players would get pissed at the referees if they're robots? Like,
I imagine that.
I can't imagine.
But there has to be someone on the field, or on the court essentially.
Right.
Correct.
Like maybe they use AI when it comes. How about this? Can I counter with this? What if we use AIs for reviews and challenges?
I was going to go there.
I think that's probably better in the sense that, look, the AI will easily be able to tell if it's a foul. They'll be able to tell who it last touched. They'll be able to tell whose ball it is and any like 50-50 calls like that. Because those are the one thing humans fuck up big time is just those like tough to call 50-50 things. You'll never again have not enough evidence to overturn the call.
Right.
They'll know it right away.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably that's in my opinion, that's the best way you can include AI is in that sense.
Okay. Yeah. But still though, like those plays where a player hits it out of bounds, right?
Yeah.
But it goes in the other direction. So it ends up being like the other player's ball
Yeah.
when it should be this ball. Like technically it went off their fingers, but it still was pushed out by that guy. Like plays like that, I don't know. I don't know if the AI would have much of an effect on those.
Well, I think you can probably include like a touch sensor within the basketball that tells whose fingers it would last went off of. But it's kind of hard. How do you program it to know what players' numbers are and like whose body is what? Like like the soccer ball has a sensor that tells it that goes over the line completely.
Right.
That's the goal line technology. But it's different with basketball. We know the ball's out of bounds. We just want to know who came off of. It's hard to tell that we know the ball is out of bounds in NBA, but we want to know who touched it last. In soccer, you just want to see if the ball's over the line for a goal.
Well, what if they had some technology on the baseline, the sidelines, where you could tell if a player's foot touches the line?
They can, yeah.
Well, yeah.
That would
Yeah,
be
I
cool.
can do that.
Yeah, but we're saying like if it tips off somebody and both going at the ball and you see it touch both players, but the
Right.
angle is so bad you can't tell who came off last, like
Well,
a knee or
that's the thing
a,
with
like,
AI,
finger.
though. AI can
Yeah,
can
you can
advance that
figure that.
through AI. It could show you every angle possible in like a
Yeah.
360 way.
Yeah.
So I think that I see a place for that in the NBA personally.
I agree.
think it works
Okay.
because it would just take away any sort of human error, essentially. Even though someone's operating it, the AI will give you its own
Yeah.
unique result every time.
Yeah.
So
The AI suggested, the decision.
the AI deems that it went off of
Right.
the Clippers and now it's Warriors basketball.
Right. But what if the AI has like a Clipper bias?
The person running it.
That's
Yeah.
the person.
Yeah.
That's where you got to get
Essentially,
somebody.
that's what it is. You got to get someone impartial, but that doesn't exist. So
Yeah.
everyone's going to have their biases.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, essentially, was there a second part to your question, or was it just the one parter?
That was it.
I'll just put the whole segment then up onto
Yeah.
YouTube next Wednesday or
Yeah.
Tuesday,
No.
whenever.
I agree with you. What you guys said too.
Yeah.
I think we can incorporate it to call certain things, but if you're placing a referee, I don't think you can have a robot running up and down the court at the same speed as a referee does, unless it's like one of the football dummy ones.
Right.
You need to have people.
Yeah.
You need to have people
No,
just
it would be
overseeing.
so weird.
It would be really
Yeah.
bad.
I wouldn't watch.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't watch either.
I would not watch.
I don't think I would watch baseball with a robot umpire behind the plate.
I just think these refs need to realize that it's not about them, and just let these players play. Sometimes
That's the hard
Yeah.
part.
Yeah. So that's kind of the only issues when it comes to referees. I understand their job's difficult. So
Very.
Plus, who would want to be a referee?
a lot of people do.
I don't.
They get paid handsomely.
They do.
Yeah.
paid a lot of money.
I don't know. You'd be hated by.
I still wouldn't want to be a referee.
Most players love referees. They love
Yeah, there's
they
some
have
you would love, of
relationships,
course. Yeah.
even Scott Foster's loved by most of the NBA players.
Yeah.
Just not Chris Paul.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a good question. So next week, Gio, it's on you. Come up with a good question. So, any final thoughts on this edition of Shower Thoughts?
No, sir.
All right, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we
No
have
way you
reached-
better put on this do-rag, bro. No, bro. Take that
I'm
off.
scarred.
Take that off, bro.
You were saying
Yes, but anyways, with that brings us to the end of episode 15
this smells
of-
really good.
of the Floor Spacer podcast. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on over
But how
there.
did you put in that?
Some good stuff.
Good stuff.
Is it your shampoo?
No, it's like a.
Is it hairspray?
No, it's just like a. It's like
It smells like it just came
It's
out.
like a
It,
cream.
it smells like it just came out of the washer.
no.
I don't know. But anyways, it's the end of episode 15. Gio, you know what time it is in the video. What should the lovely people at home comment down below if they're
Okay.
still with us right now?
Well, since I'm trying to get waves, guys
Didn't
can
we do
comment
waves?
down waves?
We
Did
comment waves last
We
week.
did
yeah.
last
We'll do it
week.
again.
Again?
Yeah.
Nah, don't do it either. Don't do it.
No, we're not doing it.
What are we gonna? I need help. I need help.
How about
Comment brush.
comment
Comment B.
B?
Bianca.
Bianca.
My cat's name.
Comment Bianca.
Comment
Bianca.
No,
C
BIANCA. You can't even spell your girl's
You
name
said
right,
K.
All right, I meant to say
You're
C.
Italian.
I meant to say
There's
C.
no K
No,
in
yeah,
Italian
I
language.
know. I meant to say C.
bro. It's one of the main letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but-
Kappa.
Kappa, yeah.
Kappa. That's it.
But
They
yeah,
call it
comment
Kappa.
Bianca. So yeah, there you go. If you guys did enjoy today's episode, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. At the time of recording, we are currently 2 subscribers away from 1,700. So we're trying to get there as quickly as we can. We're on the road to 2K. We're getting closer and closer, which means Antoine's going to jump in an ice bath when we do it.
We should have been at 2K because like 3 people on sub yesterday.
We should be.
I mean 17K, 1700.
But
AOB.
She's sleeping. bro.
it's all good. We'll get her on one day.
Yeah, we'll bring her next time.
But yeah, also make sure you hit the notification bell that way you're notified every time we upload. If you're on Spotify, drop us a like, give us a 5-star rating, follow us there, answer the polls, follow our socials at FloorSpacerPod and all the usuals. Follow our main ones, which you can see down below, including Gio's Twitter. Get him to 1 million followers. And yeah, next week in episode 16, we'll have to see what's on the docket. Obviously, the Olympics will have started by then. No more summer league, so we'll come up with some good ideas and
Let's
stuff like
hope
that.
there's some trades.
Hopefully, there's something that goes down.
There's a lot of trade talks, and I hate when nothing happens.
Exactly, yeah. But excuse me, if nothing happens, that means that we could do some fun stuff on here. We can rank.
Yeah.
We can
that's
tier
fine.
list. We could do a bunch of stuff. So
Let's do that.
yeah. Any final thoughts from you, lovely gentlemen, over across from me or on screen to my left, right, whatever? Any final comments, concerns, questions? Anything for the lovely viewers at home?
Peace. We got to record shorts now.
We have to record some shorts for this week. So we hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. We love you all endlessly. And as always now, we'll see y'all in episode 16.